without sweating. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like something that gets missed for years is that the international representatives, they're maybe the cream of the crop from that region, but you don't see the pressure that formed them into the diamonds they are, right? And that's the rest of the players in that region doing that. And I feel like we've been seeing a lot of those players in this region. So France, I was looking back at the history, man, they have so many good players and a lot of players in this bracket. People like Junior Leo has been rocking Ken for a long time. He's been doing work in CPT for a while, and also I look back, I was reminded Red Bull Kumite LCQ qualifier from 2018 doing work there. People like Link Exilo, who's been rocking Nikali and Ibuki, always a threat in these brackets.
Speaking of players that over the years have been godlike, I would be remiss not to bring up my brother, Kainu. People don't really talk about Gao these days, man. But I'll tell you what, when you got skill like that guy right there, I remember back when, was it 2018 when he had a monster year?
Yeah, 2018.
Akainu, his Gao, the neutral game is just so ridiculous. I feel like he's one of the most confident players. And then outside of that, I think that Gao has always done well against a character like Mika, who he's gonna have to deal with when it comes to going up against someone like Luffy.
And yeah, you're right. He had some of the most electrifying sets, especially in the first CPT event. He's the one who put Mr. Crimson in losers. Mr. Crimson won that event through losers, and then he lost 3-2 to Luffy. And I think we even did a set breakdown. That was one of the wildest sets in the CPT. And then don't forget, in the second event for this region, he got second to Kills You. I feel like Akainu is that guy who like kind of silently does work, but like
he's dropping a solid 60 points a game right now or something like that.
Right. If you look at the stats, he's easily one of the top in this region. Like he has to be in the conversation. I think he hasn't had that win yet. That's the problem. Like he's had more consistent results over the lifespan of Street Fighter V than someone like Kills You, who's a younger player, kind of newer to competing at this level. But he just hasn't had that win yet. And I think Akainu is definitely looking to make his mark.
That can be beneficial, man. When it's quiet and people might not be thinking about you as much, you might go into here prepping so hard for Kills You with Mr. Crimson and Luffy, and yet this godlike player is sneaking right up under the radar. But of course, someone who's not going to sneak up under the radar at all is, as you said, Evo champion Luffy. He's a player who I'm expecting a whole lot from. I think you said that he got a second place and a third place last year. So, I mean, Luffy is... It goes without saying, that's a legend of fighting game.
さあ、久しぶりやな。これいつだ？赤犬ガエル対ルフィ。ルフィ現役時代か。これはいつのルフィのやつだろう。
Last year. Even 2020, he found his way in when he got voted in. He won the entire vote-in process. He's a legend in more ways than one. Like, that streak was on for a while. And I'm happy to see the new players qualify, or the newer players qualify in 2021. But part of me is a little like, oh man, it would have been cool for Luffy to have a perfect attendance record.
Yeah, it feels like Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. It's like, man.
Right.
Did it really have to happen? But
I'll take your word for that one.
Bro, how don't you know? You don't know about that?
Listen, I'm a nerd, and
Brian,
all I did was sit around and play video games. I'm sorry, man. I've had you know how much anime and wrestling I had to learn after joining the FGC? You guys have kept me on my toes. I'll tell you that. I've learned about Undertaker and his history since joining to keep up with these references.
You're becoming.
今日はどれだけ来るかな。久しぶりやもんね。
Expanding my horizons here with the world of professional wrestling, but just like expanding our horizons, there's another community I want to shout out, the Spanish community. They're trying to expand their horizons and get a player into Capcom Cup, because I was trying to figure out what are the people to look out for, not just from France, because I feel like they've had a big spotlight on them. I hit up Vega Patch, who of course that's the main guy that we know from Spain, who's been a consistent factor in these CPT finishes and the CPT top 8s. And he's gone very far, but I think he's in both top 8s and doing very well with Vega. He even told me that he's feeling pretty good this season, but he's saying Vega, I keep saying Vega. Vega Patch plays Fong. You always get me with a tongue twister with that one. But he's been like one of the most consistent Fong representatives outside of like Mono. He's like for years he's been playing Fong, showing up to events and ruining your favorite player's day by coward crushing them to death. He's feeling good about Fong, but he still says there's some matchups that might not be favorable, so he's also been working on that Jury, because he feels like Jury right now with her positive changes
Jury's in a great spot.
For sure. So
これはこの前のあれか、ストリートファイターリーグ
kind of which matchups he goes with this event. He also mentioned a few players, and I want to give a shout out to Froze. he got top 8 at one of the events in number 2 actually. He plays Balrog Honda, and so that's one of the Spanish players. So I feel like there's been Spanish players who sneak into that 7th place position besides Vega Patch. I'm curious to see if they can shake up this narrative, because even here, I feel like we talk a bunch about France. I feel like Spain is like on the cusp to have some notable players. I want to see more of that, so I'm interested to see if any Spanish players can kind of shake up the established order. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I want to see some shakeups here, or even if we see some old favorites take a W, I think this would be a great event either way.
All facts, Brian. And speaking of amazing events, of course, we have 2 more coming up very soon with CPT Midwest and CPT Japan right on the cusp. Make sure you guys sign up as soon as those open up. You can head over to CapcomProTour.com for more details.
Yeah, good call there, Rob. I actually need to do that myself. CPT Midwest coming up. We need to head on over there and sign up as soon as that's available. But enough about us in the Midwest. We're getting into the top 16 here of one of the most electrifying regions we have in the CPT. We have former EVO champions. We have people taking down the biggest players and the biggest talkers in the community. We are getting into the top 16 of the France, Spain, and Portugal CPT. Take it away.
Let's go.
カプコンプロツアー行くためにパチで勝つか。
Fear my strength. Have a taste of this. Don't take this personal. I'll show no mercy. This is for my fellow hunters.
今日は何やろ。誰が残ってんのか全然知らへんねんけどな。今日は誰が残ってんの？今日はまあトップ16か。トップ16やからトップ8までやから多分すぐ終わるな。1時間ぐらいでささっと終わりそうやな。さあ、あと5秒で始まるよ。まあこのグループだったらさっき言ってたミスタークリムゾン、ルフィ、ベガパッチ、カイヌ、まあこの辺はあれが残ってるね。バルマスター、おバルマス。バルマスとか久しぶりに聞いたな。バルマスのフランス最強3人衆の一人、バルマスが復活してるやん。シーズン1以来に聞いたぞ。
Fantastic, like, yeah, you gotta be here like 6 days.
今日はとりあえずあれか。
Like that, honestly, shouts to the Blue Coast guys for bringing me back
ルー
here.
ザーズ
Do some
の
more
とウ
commentary
ィナーズ
action
のベスト
for the
4まで
European
決める
region
感じか。
as well as in the
明日でも当たる
show.
かな。明日
Brian
もできそうや
did
な。
allude
ち
to
ょっ
this
と
is one
だ
of
け
the most electrifying regions. He's not wrong because this is the land of Ryus and Alexes. I don't know what like gets you guys attracted to these characters. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather you all played Luke.
I can make sense of the tier enthusiasts, the players that are playing good characters, but you guys experimenting out there, they got a little bit of love, you know, those characters. I think they're just trying to really bring them to the forefront, flourish them a little bit.
I'll tell you what, right? Because Logan is never wrong when he said this. He's probably said it to you, but he said it to tons of American players. When you come to Europe, you're going to see the whole roster. You're going to because we just get Vegas, Dan, Alex, and Falcon. It's like everywhere else. It's just like, you know, what are the top 8 characters? That's it. That's crazy.
I feel like that's a little generalized. I feel like East Coast is smart and they pick top tier characters a lot of the time. Here in California, we got like Chris CCH, like they'll play Luke. XSK will play Luke, but we got a lot of funky characters out here too.
I'll give you that.
But you know, we're gonna get to some funky characters and some familiar faces today with the top 16, of course. Want to let everybody know. Let's take a look at the bracket and how it's gonna go down. Kills You and Link X Leo gonna be starting off. 2 very familiar faces of this region, always entering the Salt Myling and whatnot. Akainu Vega Patch, Mr. Crimson Jr. Leo, Luffy and TKR, all the way down the bracket for the winner side.
このウィナーズブロケットで見る とやっぱルフィ、ミスタークリムゾン、まあベカパッチ赤いのがちょっと強そうだね。
This is what you kind of expect in the winner side of top 16. A couple of these guys had
優勝候補はまあダルシ、まあキョラ的に言うとやっぱりベカパッミスタークリムゾンが上がってきそうなイメージあるけどね。
But if we drop down to the losers bracket real quick and see this, this is where it gets interesting because we're going to have for losers top 16 round 1, we're going to have Marsky the Beast, a very interesting dance specialist.
Okay.
And I respect him.
ルーザーズはちょっとまあバルマスかなやっぱり。
In Froze from Spain, he got some interesting results last year. Not the best ones, but he did get into he made it on stream last year. So that's going to be the first game we're going to see in the loser side. Next match we're going to see is another Spanish player, except for Vega Patch and Froze, Jay Killer, Urian specialist, I believe. He's going to be going up against James 2088. I believe it is another Alex player.
昔はよく来てくれたけど、まあ来ないかな。のんびりは見ますわ。
But if we drop down even further, we're going to see, hopefully I pronounced this right, it's Loix. I believe he plays Honda, another Spanish player. So it's good Spanish representation in the losers bracket. I know it doesn't really make any sense when you say good representation in the losers bracket, but nevertheless, it's good representation. He's going to be going up against Freya 1 May. This guy is sensational with Nash. I don't like the character, but you got to respect the players that put in time and effort. So hopefully he can make the distance and make top 8.
ね、世界日本スペイン最強ファン。
Valmaster will be going up against Mal Dominant, a Urian player, in an all-French affair. This is going to be a very interesting top 16. Like we said last week with the UK and Ireland CPT, a lot of names I would expect to see, they don't make the cut. And it's bracket, it's first to 2, you're going to have bracket luck, you're going to have to do as much homework as you can, but sometimes you just won't make the cut. Close, but no cigar. But yes, do not forget as well, these guys are going to be playing for a chunk of change. They're not going to get it today, but they're going to be trying to position themselves to be in pole position to get that chunk of change. It's going to be a prize pool of $5,000 for the top 4. Now, 2 of the champions that qualified for their respective CPTs last year.
トップ4までいったら$5,000くれんのすげえな。今やったら60万じゃあ4プライズやからあれか。60万いくかベスト4のこれは。合計。
Oh, and that's a sign. It's just like you can't treat yourself just yet. But shout outs to Broski. But I mean, is there any match you're looking forward to?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the whole region for sure, but specifically, I mean, I want to see Crimson always at the helm, right? He's always.
てかフランス勢はいろいろとあれだよね。ワンピース好きなやつ多いよな。赤犬とかルフィとかさ。フランス勢はほんまにあれやな。ワンピース好きやな。
On his best day, he could perhaps upset Crimson, right? One of the finest Dawsons in the business. Of course, he's been rocking the Luke as well. But I also want to see Luffy because I'm hoping for the Rose. I know, like, you know, the Mika is most likely what we're going to get today. We talked a little bit about it beforehand, going up against TKR's Chun-Li. But I
多分だよ。だって、
I think
ワンピースのルフィ、マジでワンピースのルフィやし、一応このトーナメントに赤犬っていう選手もおるけど、その選手も多分ワンピースがいるだからフランスだってあれだっけ進撃の巨人がえらい人気やったっけな。ハク君はあれそのスペイン勢のベガパッチさんって知ってんの？ファン使いの。あれ対戦したの？知ってんのかな？あれらしいよ。フランスは結構漫画大好きなやつ多いからね。
白さん、名前は共有したことはないですが。
あ、なるほどね。一応まあウィナーズ残ってるからね。まあでもこのウィナーズ側から見るとルフィ、赤犬、ミスタークリムゾン、ベガパッチさんあたりがまあ残りそう。まあそうやね。高村とかもおるね。高村豪輝。あれもそうあれも初めの一歩大好きって言ってるから間違いないと思う。
Classic French affair. These guys play each other a fair bit, and as you mentioned before, these guys, you know, they're salt mine regulars. A lot of the people in this bracket are actually salt mine regulars. But one thing you probably don't see, because I know you've been commentating some of them, is a lot of the French community actually open up a Discord group, and they talk over each other's games. They chat to each other in between rounds. And, you know, they're just like, okay, try this, you know, why did you do that there? Good stuff from winning.
多少多少やで。パソコンはまあまあすげえな、若手ですな。若手の仮に使い多少は
Then the gamers network call as Discord. Funny they called it that when Discord means separation.
You know, that's a good point.
I don't know whoever came up with that name is a genius. But anyway, right, we've got another player quote ready for you, and I believe it is from Link Exceller. Let's see what it has to say, Ringe.
白さん、愛5万、3060が10万、かって話ですね。
i5-306010万か。まあ今円安っていうのもあるから、パソコン買うのはちょっとね、今時代ちょっと時期が悪いって悪いと思うよ。最新版よね。i5 の306っていうのはあれか。グラボか。グラボグラボじゃないよね。
白さん、知り合いのマイニング用のやつを中古でどうっていうのを。
ああ、なるほどね。
If there's a community voting, I'm going to put this in the most diplomatic way possible. Do not mess with Luffy if you say, right, vote me in for the cup. That guy's getting the French Prime Minister behind his back. The rest of you, you're just like on the street, handing out your $1 mixtapes. He's just like, yo, listen, I want to go 2014. You know who I am. Get the whole country behind me.
そうそう、i5 のその番号がわからんけど。
The second thing is, these guys are humble.
まあ大体
you know what I'm saying? They can talk to each other. Trust me. And also as well, it's like it's their characters which is really interesting. It's kind of mixed between solidity and explosiveness. That's what you got on screen. So far these guys have been
まあ大体15万前後ぐらいやね、今の値段で。だからまあまあ中古としたらまあ結構それぐらいの値段なんかなと思う。
Nice V shift.
Yeah, trying to avoid that last bit of stun. Ooh, and actually just drained the bit so that Sam medium punch didn't get the stun.
あるはないと思う。あとはその SSD とどれだけ入ってんのみたいな。
白さん、Amazon Payか13万でしたね。
だったらまあ中古だったらちょっと値下げしてもらっても可能かもしれんけど。
He really wants his round to come back, Ringe.
Yeah, and kills you. I mean, he didn't spin the meter on that combo. Could have probably killed with that. Instead, spinning it now for an activate. Ooh, just kept it nice and compact, safe. Walk staying light. Make sure if he gets flinching, he gets paying.
The thing is, with kills you, what's exceptional about his carry?
マイニング用、ただマイニング用で使ってたってことやから、ちょっとあれかな、そのマイニングってほら基本的になんかずっとつけっぱなしのイメージあるから、ちょっとその熱とかどういう感じになってんのやろうなっていう不安はあるけど。ほな、ずっとビットコイン掘ってたやつ仮想通貨掘ってるんやったらつけっぱが基本になってると思うけど、その辺がうまいよ見てるな。
These reversal messages from these guys are very interesting.
その辺の問題がどうか。
温度とかそういう管理は厳しくしてるみたいなのと、本人に信頼があるので。
まあ、
まあ
そうやな。ただまあ、ただ一つ言えるのはまあ管理はしっかりしてるけど、通常の使い方ではないっていうとこを考慮してどうするかやな。まあ、このパソコン
ただまあ音配列が悪いとか聞きますけど、最近の早いのかなと思って。
まあ結局ノートパソコンってほらファンがちっちゃいし、で基本的にはもうがっつり箱と違う普通のデスクトップと違ってがっちり固まってるからやっぱり熱はこもりやすいっていうのはある。であとやっぱデスクトップに比べたらどうしても性能はよくまあそのスタイルだったら大丈夫だと思うけど若干落ちるっていうのもある。そこはやっぱりあるから、その温度管理してたっつっても結局24時間ちょっとマイニングのこと詳しく分からんけど大体24時間つけっぱなしっていうイメージを持ってるからやっぱり普通の使い方じゃないからやっぱダメージがないわけじゃないと思う。そこを考慮してまあゲームにはちょっとぐらいしか使えないやったら大丈夫やと思うけど
Dash up.
難しい
To
ね。
get a command grab.
まあもし欲しいと思うんだら買っ
prayer, then take command grab, coming in hot. He blocked it out. Nice chase down.
まあそんだけスペック高かったらそのなんていうの、例えばストリートファイター6をパソコン版でやるってなった時でも全然問題ないとは
So
思う
if
け
he
どね。
wasn't buffering the medium punch into disc guidance, there's nothing you
そ
really
こはあ
do
ると
about
思う。
it. To be perfectly honest with you, and that's what I'm talking about with kills you strike throw game. He walks in range and then walks out of it. Game, he walks in range and then walks out of it. Xello here, he walks in range and then walks out of it. Xello here, he walks in range and then walks out of it. Xello here, he walks in range.
Situation that he's had in previous rounds, honestly, he's been off to a quick deficit, but what a whip punish on that
そ
ground
こは絶対
pound.
入ると思
He
う
can't do that
な。
again. If he does that again, he's gonna lose. If there's 2 bars, Karen's corner combo inconsistency's got fixed.
We got an activation from Lee, and then the bust out again kills you.
He's trying to grab him again. Oh no, he risked it. He said the kid's not going to win again. Well, he did, and it's a bit difficult.
It's 2 out of 3, I forgot. I thought we were going to have another game.
I can't help but feel
やっ
really
ぱそのスペック的
he
に
might have had a shot with
あ
Luke.
じゃあモニターもあれなんかな、例えばその 144Hz 分とか入ってるってこと、120とかやっぱ普通の 60Hz とかじゃないってことかな。その辺やっぱスペック CPU よりどっちかというとモニターのリフレッシュレートの方があれじゃないの、ああいうの俺もそう思う。
Yeah, we'll see.
結局どんだけスペック
モニターは144なんですけどね。
ああ一応なんかスト5に関しては144がやっぱりリミッチ現代値っぽいらしいけどね、それ以上上げてもそんなに変わらんらしいから、だから144あれば基本的にはスト5に関しては12フレ全然変わると思う。14フレ確認できるんやったらいいな。
At least forces her to consider something outside of that range than Akali.
プレステと考えたらあれか。何フレちゃうんや、4フレか5フレぐらい違うかな。すげえな、そんなに遅れる変わるんや。ビビるな。俺パソコン版よ。
人並み以下の反応速度かと思ってましたけど、人並みはありそう。
やっぱモニターとそのスペックありゃ人なんでも基本的に多分俺そこまでのプロゲーマーたちってそんなに反応いいと思ってないよ。
Okay, you're 20.
多分
We say a lot of stuff when we're in
反
our
応
20s.
ガチでいい人、
I'm gonna hold you
ま
to
あ意
that.
識
And
配
you know
分
what?
ですよね。
意識配分だって結局こっちはそれを当てに行く時とか多分ね、その差し返しとか、時とかは多分見てると思うけど、沖でそれをピット確認してやるって多分無理やと思う。無理っていうかよっぽどあれやと思う。
He knows what's at stake. And he knows what he's willing to put down
差し
the line.
返しと
And
か、
listen, solid performance,
自分が差しに行く時とかは多分逆できると思うけど、沖でその反応できるかって言ったらこれ絶対違うと思うんよ俺。要するにパッて光ったのをパッて取るのと、グッと構えとる状態でパッて光ったのをパッと押すと絶対ちゃうから、ガイルファンな。
I love it. You said the sea of French players. That's amazing. I would not want to swim in there, believe me. Their characters and their choices and play styles. I don't think you've seen the French defense, have you? You haven't seen that. You're going to be really enjoying that in the losers bracket. But you'll see it. But yeah, these guys have known each other for quite some time. You know, friends, got the camaraderie there. Sorry, my tongue was down.
写真だけちゃう
And
か
it's
な。
a case of, right, this is the matchup I'm actually very interested in because Vegapatch has been studying and he has been labbing the jury. We could see, but who knows?
スペインのボクサーもい
We'll
るんだ。
talk more about this when the match is live. I believe we have another player quote coming from Vegapatch, the man himself. What does it say? Akainu and I know each other very well. Last time he beat me and I didn't like it, but he is a lovable guy. That's such a fighting game quote. Like, yeah, Rich,
白さん、
like
これ
maybe
フッ
last
クな
time.
のか。
But I love
い
you.
や多分いやチームでも赤犬&アイノイチ。
ナイキがスポンサー。
いや違うはず。確かこの人はね、多分普段着じゃねこれ。
There's no friends, there's nothing like that when the game's on, right? But outside the game, like you mentioned, a lot of these community, obviously this is the French versus Spain scenario here, so not quite the camaraderie we're talking about from within the
一応
French
スポーツクラブのボーダーフォンやから、多分プロボーダーフォンジャイアンツっていうチーム入ってるから。
So I like
多
people
分
keeping
あれ
it
入ってんだ
intense,
ろうな。
knowing that they're fighting
スポ
for
ン
their
サー入っ
lives
て
in
ん
the
じゃん。
game.
ボーダ
But
フォンだもん。
outside the game, they can respect the person as a person.
Yeah, for sure. And
多分入ってんじ
I
ゃ
know
ない
Vega Patch, like we said, he's using
ナイ
Fang
キとか。
and he's using Jury as the secondary.
ヨーロッパやったら
I
な、
think
だ
Jury
っ
was
て
Street Fighter League last year, so it's good that he's got another character under his belt. I don't think you can go Fang the whole way from start to finish solo. Akainu has kind of been not necessarily off the grid. He's been playing, but kind of like casually. He's been dabbling with Dalsim, Dan, Oizen. He's been like just rotating around the cast, and I think he shows up. Kind of like when we had Jones Arcade last week. He shows up.
そうそう、ソフトバンクの前のボーダフォンですよ。ちなみに私のガラケーの携帯のアイドル、メールアドレス、まだボーダフォンです。バルマスが。
And hopefully, Vega Patch can illustrate that to us in this set alone. Because obviously, when she does the light pinwheel kick, the 10
おっと、まあさすがにガイルにはファン出せないか。一応予選はジュリーで行ってたから今回もジュリーかな。ただキャラ的にやっぱ無理だよ。まあジュリーいけるんだろうな。
She's very funky to fight against. She goes in and out a lot of the time. The rhythm that the players play with is weird, but Akainu's kind of bringing that himself already.
But if you look at Vega Patch's track record, just playing, he's a very elusive guy. And it's like he wants to be slick, he wants to be evasive.
暴れて、
So him
おい
picking
ど
Jury
ん
as the
どん
secondary,
どん。
which I think has better neutral than Fang, that's my personal opinion, is a fantastic pick for him. And it's already working out right now. Back throw will do the trick if he gets close enough, but he's going to wait and get that projectile just in case the boom comes out. But that's what Akainu is looking for. Even if you whiff that, you get caught.
And I like that from Vega Patch. She wasn't too thirsty for the stun. Oh, cutting the V-skill off early.
There it is, that's the round. Yep. He's not afraid to throw out the EX Ryo Dansatsu.
さすがにファンは出すとこないよな。
You can deal with
ガイル
it
は
before
無理
it
か。
connects because his hitbox is kind of just wide on the ground. So you can have, I think he could do upside down kick against that, but I don't think you're going to see that.
Yeah.
I might double check that for my personal information later.
EX, and this time just got caught walking back right there. I like Akainu going for the low right there, knowing that it's safe, but still exposing the legs.
Upside down kick there. Let's see if he can fight out the corner. The fireball almost helped him. Good delay tech there from Akainu.
おお、そんなキャンセルあんの？今回ジュリー絶対そこそこ強いよな。
He's got a life to work with, though. He's got to be careful of the dash because obviously the dash range increases when
ジュリー通常技優秀な気がする。あの立ち中継マジ強すぎんねんけど。おお、うまっ。
A lot of damage leaving Jury on life support.
And another V shift. He will use those, like, you know, just liberally. Vega Patch. So I think Akainu's got to keep an eye out for that. Maybe upside down could work in that scenario as well, but he can't for another projectile or even a heavy.
俺でき。
He's going to wait out. Yeah, we got 30 seconds. Get comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. Akainu knows, right? He's not even going to risk the fireball. No need to. Just waits out the V skill. Punishes in kind. Good stuff.
I think what's interesting as well, because he's still in the phases of trying to make this that, you know, second nature, secondary character. He's going to be ants in a lot of situations where he doesn't need to be. So people at home, pay attention to how Vega Patch plays when he's got the life lead as opposed to when he doesn't have it, and what resources he's spending, because this character's all based on resources and the money in the bank.
Look at what she's got playing right now, spinning some of the stocks. Ooh, I'm going to cash out entirely. That's going to be a healthy life lead.
この CA 結
構
構弱いよ。
He could do the V skill one again if he gets close, but the dash cancel V skills have been working off exceptionally there for Vega Patch at the moment. Good screen control.
And look at that, even that anti-air attempt covered by the fireball and landing. Great stuff from Vega.
See, this is it, right? Life lead, no EX meter, only got the stock.
ジュリーのタイムやな。
The medium and heavy stock are only going to come out if he gets that medium kick buff or even the crouching medium punch.
Beautiful.
Nice combo.
Yeah, and Vega Patch
怖い広いのがな、ジュリー。
You see, I love him not immediately stocking up, right? Knowing that Akainu's trying to overwhelm him, take away that space.
でもこのゲームにウルフォンのジュリーおったら絶対最強キャラやったやろな。
And then catching him before he landed with a dash of
ウルフォンのジュリーおったらやばかったと思う。
Patch with the jury.
So far, so good. Putting in that work, and obviously we're seeing the fruits of
空戦とかほんまク
This
ソ
is
技や
kind
ろ。
of what I wanted Link to do to kills you.
Okay.
Pick the other
ウルフォンジュリーの疾空戦やったらほんまやばかったと思う。
Because I think Akainu was aware Vega Patch was playing Jury. I don't think he was expecting him key, and this is what I was saying last week, right?
風水
They
が
got two
な
characters.
でも風水の仕様はでも人法仕様でもよかったかも
You don't get caught
な
off guard. And the biggest things that have been a threat, and this is part of Jury's gameplay in general, right? Is the fireball and the V skill one. When you have those stopped, it's skedaddle scooby all over again. Because it now can't do
そ
much,
こだけ
but
それしてくれとったらちょっ
ignore
と
what I just
こ
said
のキャ
because
ラ
the
もう
cat
ち
is
ょっと
having a good
難
time
し
in
い
the
キャラ
corner
に
here. One throw will do it, and he tried.
The corner is the great equalizer, right? All those things that we talked about in neutral, a lot of the time get nullified once your back is up against the wall.
Nice neutral jump.
Stuck on the kind. He's keeping it jailed in the corner. No parole for Jury. Let's go to the next round.
I think he tried to jump out there. That situation is very interesting because Gao can walk up throw, or he can get a meaty crouch light punch into the boom and get the combo to the sweep, which is exactly what we saw there from Akainu. He's got a lot of resources to work with right now. So let's see how he slopes the meter.
Ooh, the EX in response at the very end there. I mean, it did cut off that like dash, V-skill cancel that Vega Patch has been looking for a lot.
勝負やな
This might be very
俺負けたらファン出すんかな
adventurous of me to say this. Let's see it pans out though. I'm going to mention it if it goes to another game. Oh no, he didn't want that. He wanted to chase a backdash. Yeah, he wanted to chase a backdash or a V-shift. Akainu's not panicking in this situation.
Yeah, didn't give us either option. Does bring out the V-shift now after the activation. Vega Patch slight lead, and Akainu betting big on the EX flash kick, but no sir.
I don't think he needs to do that there. Right. There's another thing I just had a theory of in this matchup. If the fireball comes out, he's been jumping back. That's what people naturally do against projectiles that are slow moving. I think he should try an upside down kick. I think we'll go over it. There's a lot of moves that will go over that fireball, but again, I don't think Akainu just knows this. This is to me backseat gaming again.
All right, crush counter sweep. Oh, actually whiffed that stand light kick, caught him flinching
Oh,
because of it.
Meaty, if he gets a flip stun range.
Oh, it's in the cross-up. That was so sick. Maz was not protecting his neck. Vega Patch put him on life support. Akainu still living. And again, Vega Patch not thirsty for the kill, right? Just takes that space back, gets the stocks up, changing up that Jury rhythm, and puts himself in top 8.
Yeah, that was
ジュリーが逆転勝ち。これであれか勝ち上がりか。ウィ
Work
ナ
in
ー
progress
ベガパ
is
ッチ。
coming ever so closer to a deadly substitute character, and I gotta say, what a pick for Vega Patch there. He will be in the top 8 going
あ、まだベスト16ぐらいやからやろ。多分今日はもう2先よ。で、明日から3先やろね。今日はあれらしいわ。ベスト8までやるらしい。ベスト8で終わりらしいから。だからそんな2時間ぐらいで終わるんじゃん。1時間か2時間ぐらいか。明日は3先やろうけどね。
It's a very effective strategy. So good stuff to Vega Patch, really bringing it out right there. We saw that was a sick moment where he actually caught the quick kick, but nonetheless, not enough in the playbook to really counter everything that Jury was bringing to the table.
Yeah, I'd have to double check with like players and my own notes regarding like the numbers and how people respective characters feel about this matchup in general. But there's a couple of things I did learn along the way because
あんまり赤犬側がちょっとあれって感じがするイメージがある。なんかジュリーを分かってないのかな。
that you rarely see, maybe one or two on the odd occasion for ranked, but other than that, again, I think what it was, the fireball was too dominant for Akainu. The B skill caught him off guard in numerous situations, but it's how many anti-projectile tools Jury has now at her disposal that are prevalent. That was really keeping him on his toes there. I personally think there's no right or wrong to do an EX
結
reversal,
構
but
なん
I
か
felt
溜まっ
in
て
this
るところで
situation,
甘えたっ
just he
て
capitulated.
いうか、なんか
Got to him
癖
there,
手
which was
癖で
unfortunate.
なんか
But
ソニック打ってる
Akainu
ような
is
イメージ
down,
があっ
but
た
he's
けど。
not out, so he could still make the top 8 because he's been pretty consistent in these CPTs in this region, France, Spain, Portugal. But we've got to be moving on because our next match is another one of the favorites, another one of the guys who qualified for this CPT last year. He won the first one because he won the first one and he didn't enter the second one. And that's the one that kills you one.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. Yes, but it is Le Crimson, Mr. Crimson, Red Bull Kumite, London champion. One of the best players in France. You could argue he is the best player in France.
まあガイル・ジュリーはちょっとわからんっていうのもあるけ
He's had
ど。
that title for quite some time, but ever since, you know, Mr. Crimson had more time to practice the game, focus on it, change over to PC, he's had more fun, traveled around. He's been doing quite a bit with the game now, and he's been doing more content, streaming, showing people the defensive side of Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot to make sure people improve. and it's just been great to see. I don't know if you caught any of his personal streams.
Sometimes from here and there.
But you know what? He's a great guy.
白
And it's
さ
like
ん
you said,
海外は
you
スパ
can't
相
hate
手
him.
探
You
す
can
の
hate
も苦労し
his
そう
character.
で
You
す
can't
ね
hate
まあ
Crimson,
オ
but
フライン
I
オ
don't
ン
know
ライン
how
よ
you
りオ
feel
フ
about
ラ
this
イン
next
の
one.
タイ
Junior
プ
Leo,
が
is he
多い
gonna
って
go
イ
with
メー
the
ジや
Luke?
な。
Who's
オ
gonna
フライン
go
で
with
ワイワイやるっていうイメー
Oh
ジある
man,
か
I
ら。
want to see
オ
the
ンラインはね
Crimson
どうして
start
も
off, to be honest
日
with
本
you.
が
I just
一
want
番
to
優れ
see
て
if
るか
he's
ら
gonna be
ね
able to overwhelm the Dawson out the gate. I know
オ
it's
フラ
gonna
イ
be
ン
tough
まあ
to
最
do
近は
up
ちょっと
against
変わ
Mr.
ってきたかも
Crimson.
しれんけ
As you
ど
mentioned, one of the best players in the game at utilizing every single defensive option there is, right? Whether it be the V shift, the backdash, whether it be like waking up with the EX Gale on wake up, you know what I mean? Something to put him airborne. He just has everything and he cycles through them so effectively. So I think it can be tough and maybe you want to go with a more stable ground game in the
ダルシムルー
loop
ク
to try to
こ
find
れ
it
は
out.
ダル
But
シム
either way,
っぽい
Junior
け
Leo's
ど
gonna
どう
have
な
a
んだ
tough time, but I do want to see the Ken
お
first.
互いあれだね
We'll see what
リード
happens.
させた
So
リードした時
me
の
and just give you
街の
guys
強さ
an inside story of
それが
what happened backstage before we went live. So if you didn't check
だから
out
リードした時の
CFN,
強さはどっちもあるか
prior
ら
to
その
this,
街
I
の
got
状
my laptop
況
on, turned on the game, and there's a couple of matches I had to
た
check
だ
out
あれや
before we went
ね
live. Me and Ringe
ル
were
ークが V
watching
トリガー持ってる時
a
に
match
弾打て
that
ないのがちょっと
could
辛い
have
な
went south if Mr. Crimson wasn't the man he is. I want to say a personal shout out to Rock Shooter because you did give Mr. Crimson a bit of a scare because both of these guys had a couple of close calls on the way here. Rock Shooter and Loix. They lost 2-1 to Mr. Crimson, and I believe Junior Leo, a Falk player called Nineru and Ozen, they lost 2-1 to Junior Leo. So both these guys might be a little bit on edge,
ダル
but
シムっ
the
ぽいけど
guy
ね
who
やっぱ
played
ルークは
Alex
ねよう言われて
Rock
るのは
I
街
was
が
watching him and I was
待てる
like,
状況になったら
Mr.
最強クラ
Crimson,
ス
you could have lost
自
to
分から
this
攻めると
guy.
なるとちょっと変わっ
But
てくる
lo and behold, Alex players, they have this kind of mechanism that activates at a certain point, and I think that's what gave it away for Rock Shooter, but that was unfortunate. But yeah, you know what? Let's kick it off with this match here. It will be the Luke.
Okay.
Indeed. Now, Luke is, of course, Mr. Crimson's substitute character. He's been putting a lot of work into him as well, just obviously for this year and future events. And let's see if he's very good at handling it, because this is the matchup I think the general consensus is this might be the hardest one
さ
for
あ
Luke.
一応ねカプコンプロツアー去年の大会は一応出場権持っ
But
てた
people
か
have been
ら
saying
ね
this might be the hardest one
ま
for Luke, so I want to see this
まだ
both
抜ける
And bro, like the first sand blessing that comes out, Crimson showing that he's gonna react to it with slide right under. That's a tough thing to deal with already.
Right now, it's got the life lead. You might see EX Avenger, the
Yeah,
running
okay.
tackle thing. He's got armor. You might see that in preemptiveness for the limbs. But I think Mr. Crimson will try and bait that. We'll see.
You see Crimson very slide happy, especially with that V trigger behind him at this point.
Look at that. The grade damage racking up from the fire there. He's in V trigger 1. But again, the screen control he has, he
うまいな
felt the need to jump.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I like that you read up like that. Felt the need to jump. He wanted to make something happen. He had already been so impressed in this round. Such a big life deficit that instead of kind of, even with a lot of time on the clock, waiting and utilizing the Sandblaster, that V trigger, considering Crimson has already shown multiple ways around it, the slide, the gale, like he was like, I gotta make something happen. I gotta go offensive.
As a Luke player, I'm not a Luke player, I don't want to be one.
Crimson
But
Poison.
as a Luke player, you have to realize people are prioritizing your projectile over everything else.
うまい
When they show you that, you
な
have
た
to
だ
play a different
この
game. We said that I'll slug it
あ
out.
ー
And
これ
that's
は
what Mr. Crimson done right there. Got him in the corner, good check.
コパ
With
早
the
い
target combo. Can activate.
白さん、サプレッサーじゃないのか。
まあ基本的には火力重視で近づいて殺すって感じなんかな
Sniper will do it. Oh, he tried.
危ない危ない
Right back at you. Your first one missed. He just looked around like, what was that noise? And hit him with the headshot afterwards. Good stuff to Crimson 1-0. And yeah, I mean,
でも
you know,
結
when we
局
talk about
ルークってど
prioritizing
う
the
なんさ
fireball
俺もあんまりよく分かってへんけどやっぱサプレッサ
I
ー
think that
の
opens up
方
a
が
lot of
強い
Luke's
の
game because he has those forward advancing normals, right? The stand
まあ
medium
どっち
punch.
も
the
嫌なん
stand
だけど
jab.
ね
A lot of the time when your opponent's going to respect that
白さん、
fireball
足
range,
元
they're
狙
giving
う
you an
ドリル
opportunity
に
to
対して
move
ブス
forward
に
with
で
an
すか
active
して
hitbox
反
with one
撃
of
で
those
きるん
buttons.
ですよ。
なるほど
hopefully
よう
we
知っ
see
て
a
ん
little
な
bit more from that from Junior Leo.
じゃあそこ考えたら
I probably want to see him use sweep.
あ
Damn,
そうい
I
う
didn't
狙い
even
方で
finish
き
my
んねや
sentence. I think sweep
さあ
would
そ
do
って
be pretty
固めで
effective
ドン
against
おっとあまりこの辺の対策できてない
and stand hard
御用済みしちゃった
crouch counter, which is a new crouch counter. But Dalsin, obviously, like Luke get normalized as well. He's still strong. I think Junior Leia is a bit worried about using V-Trigger 1 as a threat because he hasn't got the life lead and he
て
can
か
just wait
その
there. Wait for
空
something
飛ん
to
だ
whip
時
the
の対空の速さが
projectile.
や
He's
ば
in
いな
right now.
On reach, okay. Yeah, respecting that on the plus frames.
Alright, gets a punish on that poorly spaced dive kick there, Ringe, and he's trying to get a frame trap, but it's not working. If he
サ
just
プレッ
waits
サー
here,
強いんだなあの状態やったらサプレッサーでヒュイってやって 抜け入れる。
He's gonna burn. Yeah, listen, you are going to. Oh, he's not
引っ
dead
かかっ
yet.
た。
But if he can get
で
straight
もこ
in,
れ白ゲージがあるからち
just
ょっ
an EX
と
projectile.
また
That's
ちょ
all
っ
you
と
need.
体力回復したい。
Risco
やばい
and Crimson
回復
using
一
EX
発で戻ったら
projectiles
終わり。
Wait for it. It might come. Not a sniper.
あー、Oh my god.
Oh no. He saw
Oh my
Junior Leo
God.
had the right idea, pressed the button after blocking the sniper, but didn't actually kill Mr. Crimson. And Crimson relying on the slide. All reliable indeed.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy? Junior Leo hasn't actually landed the full combo this entire set. He hasn't landed the full combo. He's been hitting him, but he's been able to activate V trigger and really utilize the projectiles. But Mr. Crimson more than comfortable dealing with those. Another
これ
check
見ると
down
ルー
to
君の
target
絶対言わないよな。ミスタークリムゾンのいなせ方がうまいな。
Okay, activate raw. Oh, try to charge it up big for the plus frame.
I respect the flash knuckle attempt. He might lose. He hasn't got CA because I know Crimson buffered that. If you jump, you're dead. He actually can use CA from here. Yeah, that's
さあ
it.
これは確定削り削りもある
Leo
と。
gets past this.
抜けれない抜けれない。あおおよう抜け
Good
た。
back, good jump back.
おおタックル。
Avenger.
さあ投げ
If he can
て。
dash up throw, he might get Crimson.
ああ最後はコバ
No. Okay, do you know what? That's crazy. That's how you know I can't beat Crimson either. That's how you know I can't beat Crimson
Yeah.
either. But Mr. Crimson
試合内容的
makes
にはもう
that
完全
look
に
like light work.
クリムゾンが
2-0 against Junior Leo there.
クリムゾン
Pretty
ペー
much
スやった
stumped from start to finish. I think he used almost every
サ
special
プレッ
Luke
サ
has
ーまあ
ever
サプレッサーも
seen.
強い
I
けど
just don't think he found
画面
the
端
rhythm.
まで持ってきたらもう
I
サ
don't
プレッ
think
サー
we
地
really saw
獄
a
やもん
full
な。
combo. I think personally I knew where things were going shaky was he didn't really challenge Dalsum's dive kick with maybe a crouch jab or
Dive
maybe a
kick.
light rising rocket, something
Dive
like that.
kick.
It was a bit rough. And again, the French contingent continued to kind of stay solid and get these 2-0 victories over
さああ
their
とは
fellow
ルフィ
brethren
対
or, Vega
まあ
Punch
クリムゾン対
Stadium
ルフィはよう見る
But
試合や
unlucky
な
to。Junior Leo, he's still in the tournament. He's a very good player. Like I said, he's kind of similar to Akainu for me.
ルフ
I don't
ィ
know how
は
active
まあ
he's been. He's been
ローズ
playing
使うん
the
か
game,
な。
but in competitive play, not as much
今
as
回
I'd
の
like
ロー
to
ズ
see
っ
him
て
in terms of
結
like
構
some
めんどくさくなってる
features
よ
and
な。
assault mine
この前やったけ
But
ど。
yeah, pretty much stumped from start to finish.
Yeah, I think Mr. Crimson made Luke look immortal, right? And I think not only because of the matchup that Dalsum seems to do decently well up against Luke, but because he's been playing Luke himself and he just knew everything in the playbook. Like immediately countering the Sandblaster with slide and gales and just like staying perfectly outside of that range. You were like, if he can get an EX Sandblaster, and he was just like galing right above it as soon as that happened, right? Like he just knows the matchup so well already, and that's one of the big strengths of Mr. Crimson. I think is his ability to absorb information and apply it at a high level very quickly. He's one of the best in the game at it. So big ups to Mr. Crimson, of course, and big ups to everybody that has been watching and all of our sponsors that make this happen. All of our lovely CPT supporters, including that Street Fighter Duel, baby. You know how Street Fighter Duel gets down. The Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for download in China. With a global version coming soon. Fight along Ryu, Chun-Li, Ken against the
これ
Suzaku
ってあれだろ
Castle.
中国
Further
の
into the
アプ
shadow
リ
of
だ
the
っけ
city, explore the mysterious
よく
organization,
分かってないんだけど
experience
よ
the
く見るん
classic
だけど
stories
こ
with
れ
all your fighters,
中
and
国のア
recall
プ
your
リだったっ
memories
け
of the original Street Fighter. Your Street Legend is now back on track. Various fighting styles, counters, stuns, combos, supers, an impressive array of fighting elements, and the
そういやあれや
essential
ったね
combos
なんか
offer you a
ブ
new
ルース・
battle
リーの親
experience,
族がフェイ
challenging
ロン
your
にフェイ
combat
ロンに出
skill.
す
The Epic Legend is
嫌
reborn
悪感
on
持ってる
mobile.
って
Download Street Fighter Duel
デマか
now.
分か
And
ら
let's
んけ
fight
ど
for
そん
each
なニュ
other
ース
and
流
join
れ
the
てた
journey
な
with millions of players to become the best.
どうなんだろうフェイ
I
ロン出
like
せん
that.
のか
He
な
didn't stutter one bit. I got to learn from you because I stutter all the time. But you know what? I can't help but feel that a lot of people at home they're just gonna recognize us and they go, "Hey, you're that Street Fighter Duel dude." I was just like, "Yeah, okay, that's how you wanna."
I'm down for
If
that.
that's where you wanna remember us, so be it. Anyway, in that time, we are going to take a short break, short 5-minute esports break. And when we come back, there is going to be more action here from France, Spain, and Portugal's top 16 CPT. See you in a bit.
Time to fly. Time to fly.
これかおおすげえジュリー殺人キラービーかっけえな絵は好きだぜどういうゲームかは知らんけどアドンおディカプリおったラベル無理スト4ベース、まあ、確かに文字的には文字であれやもんなスト4ベースだもんなどういうゲームか知らんけどルークスト4ベースのゲーム出てくんのかな
Really want to go through the trouble? Fine.
I
アコムはファブゲーミングを応援しています。プロゲーマーチームファブゲーミング。
よくある広告。
アコムは彼らの生き方に共鳴し応援しています。e スポーツの最前線で戦い、昨日までの自分を超えようと今という瞬間を生きる彼らは大切なことを教えてくれる。今は今しかない。だから最高の今を楽しもう。今を面白く。アコム。
ああ、これ明日か明後日なんだっけ。なんかピュエリアーマー V トリ2ってどう変わったんだっけ。いや V トリ2ってどうなのルーク弱くはなさそうやけど1が強すぎるんやろうな。
白さんにほとんど対戦したことない。
いや俺も見たことないからほんま V スキル2はな、まあ今流行ってるっていうかあるけど V トリ2はマジで見えへんだ。どこでやってんのそれっていうレベルやねんけど。出たパーフュームコレクション。ウォーザードだけやりてんだよなそうヴァンパイアじゃなくていい、ウォーザードだけやりてえ。これはこれセーバーか。でも多分俺格ゲー市場でもめっちゃ速いなと思ってるのはほんまにセーバーやねんな。セーバーはマジで速すぎる。あんなもんやばいわ。ヴァンパイアセーバー2、ヴァンパイアハンター。これなんで2つ出しちゃったんだろうね一緒のキャラ出したいだよね。サイバーボッツ無限でしか見たことない。出たウォーザード。ハパストが入ってんねんな。ダッシュベガってダッシュベガ出た。ポケットファイターパズ玉。ほんまにサイバーボット、まああれだな、ほんまにウォーザードだけやりたい。
ラガちゃんこんばんは。
こんばんは。今日はなんで1年ぶりぐらいの1年。
なんか大会やってるの？
そうそう、カプコンプロ、まあタイトルで書いてますけど、カプコンツアーですわ。プロツアーの。
誰が残ってるの？
まあ日本人はいないけど、まあヨーロッパ大会ですけど、まあ有名なとこやったらルフィとか、その辺が残る。ミスタークリムゾンとか、あとはバルマス、スト4時代で有名なチュンリー使いのバルマスとかがいますね。
日本が一番強いのかな。
まあ全体的なランクで考えたら日本やと思うよ。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and thank you very much for joining us for this weekend CPT France, Spain and Portugal, but obviously I like to call it the French mixtape featuring Vega Patch, but that's not the case just yet. We're still in the top 16. There's good Spanish representation. Obviously, of course, bonjour, obviously here for French viewers, and I think it's bonsoir over there. I don't know any Spanish. Do you know any Spanish?
Don't call my fake Mexican.
I don't
know. I had to ask. I'd like to make everyone inclusive, you know.
いいんじゃない？
Yeah, no.
あれはもう私は何も言えん。 4000万で人生変えたいと思ってるんだ
Let's
よ。
not keep it going.
He thought about it for a second. He said, "You know what? No, I know what you did there, Jammers. You're not throwing me on the bus today. But what we can do is I will throw him under the bus when it comes to looking at the brackets. Because up next,
おとと
we
し
have
制
already
作で
saw.
引っ越
Just
し
to
て
let
き
you
たや
guys
つ
know,
ばっからしよ
3 matches have
せ。
already
だから
transpired
全く
today.
その街に
So
何もないん
far,
や
Kills
ろ
You and Vega Patch will be the
で
first
なんか
match
思
of
っ
top
て
eight.
4000万を
Mr.
その
Crimson awaits the
ゲッ
opponent
ト
of
で
the
き
next
る
match
と
we're
思っ
going to be
て
going to, which is the last match of winners top 16. Luffy going up against TKR, and we will drop down to the losers bracket very shortly. Well, depending on how much time Luffy has, and depending how aggressive TKR wants to be today. We're still in first of two territory,
い
so
や
to
俺
let you
が
guys
怪
know
しいと
again.
思ったのは間違
These
え
guys
て
are
振り込んだ
Frenchmen.
職
They
員
played in
新
multiple
人だった
tournaments.
らしい
Speaking
たまた
Infinity
ま
But,
てか多分
here's
銀
the
行
thing,
に持
right?
ってっただけやと思う
For
よ
those of you who don't know,
これ
Luffy
振り
had
込んで
to
くださいっ
beat
て
Master
持ってって言われてだからそんなん
before
だから
set.
新人は何も悪ないよ
Those guys
持ってっ
don't
て言うて
really-
銀行がやるだけやか
I
ら
don't care what
フ
game
ロ
it
ッ
is,
ピーディ
I
ス
don't
ク
care
と
what
か言う
character
て
playing.
た。
フロッピーにだからデータ入ってるからこれもだからその振り込み依頼書とか全部持ってってはいお願いしますって渡すだけやから別に新人がなんかうんたらかんたらとは言わないよ
Now he's got to fight another Chun-Li, the other Premier Chun-Li, because when it comes to Chun-Li players in Europe, Valmaster and TKR, those are the two names that should be coming out of your mouths. We
普
have
通
one or
に
two
銀行
elsewhere,
員も
but
お
it's
か
like
しいと思
no
わな
one's
かっ
fully
たの
committed to
かね。
characters.
まあ役所っていうのがあるからな
Styles are different.
役所でやったらこうやってくださいとか
Also,
へえと思ってもそれ入れる
fun fact for you,
もうやるだけやから
TKR hasn't dropped
言われたことを
a game.
やるだけやから
Ooh,
The
not a
wo-
single game.
Not a single game, it's all been 2-0. The worst part about it is, I don't think you kind of want that run before fighting Luffy.
Yeah,
わがちゃんが振り
right?
込まれたら
I'm
逃げ
kind of
る。
along
逃げねえ
the
よ
similar thought process. That
逃げない
Luffy
よ
is the man.
逃げてもしゃあない
I
だ
mean,
ろ
look at his face. Don't you love his face, TK? Don't you love that face, Wrench? Look at that. That's a face everybody needs. Listen, I like it because if he had to send that picture right before the top 16,
ザガちゃ
when
ん
he
と
said,
か
"Oh,
が
you're
失う
fighting
ものが大
Luffy,"
きい
I
よ
reckon
ね
he did a
笑
quick
4000万あったら今
selfie.
家のロー
Do
ン
you
全
know
部
what
だけ返す
I
け
implore
ど
people to do? Because I know they mentioned, I think they mentioned TKR in the pre-show
白
plan
さ
from
ん
Rob
お釣
TV.
りとか多くもらっても申告しなかったら刑罰なんでしたっけ。
そうそうそう基本的には詐欺にあったりとかあと
逃げたやつは給付金もらうくらい貧困やったらし
He
いし。
needs his own TV.
あとあれや例えば銀行の ATM にお金があったらそのまま持って帰ってもアウト
Hey, listen, he's one commodity for the
お金を
French
持
scene,
っ
but
て
the
お
other
金
one,
がその
Luffy, no introduction
持って
needed.
帰るのはマジ
Exactly.
I'm kind of worried because
Luffy
if I said,
35なんや
if I needed
これ
voting,
中で言うとやっぱルフィもあれだねベテランプレイヤ
Luffy,
ー
can you get your people on my
それでもあれやねん
campaign?
な
Because I know I'm
トップ
locked
クラ
in
ス
if
なんや
that's
な
the case.
dude,
ローズ出すかな
when that happened live, right? You're just looking at the voting system and you're like, there's no way he's going to do it. It's like, you're just like Tokido, Problem X, and then all of a sudden this votes just came flushing in. And then you see a French Prime Minister tweet and it's like, what the hell did he do? It's crazy. And this is it, right? It's how much the French scene support people and they're kind of their figureheads, their
100%.
icons, right? And again, despite how you think he plays this game, like a nutcase, he calls it genius. He calls it genius. We'll call it calculated genius. That was brilliant. But again, if he can smother TKO that style,
でも
it's
民
going to
事
be
問
great.
題だから指名手配とかはできないんでしょ。
刑事で訴えれば、まあ、刑事でやったら
walking that line,
刑
leads
事
to
事件
great
にしてる
success
か
in
ら
fighting
名
games.
前
You
出した
don't
の
want your opponent to know everything that you're gonna do. You don't want to be that robot that just comes up with optimal decision after optimal decision. Throwing your opponent off will definitely make them second guess what they're doing.
That's
And a
done.
clean punish right here.
No, do you know what? Knowing Luffy, he thinks you're going to stun him, and then he just does something else to stun you. He does the least expected thing to try and stun you. I don't think we're going to see another jump from Luffy just yet. Yeah, he's going to do classic Luffy. If he can get maybe a dash up grab, that is +1 on block now. So Chun-Li got...
顔写真公表しないと誰も名前だけじゃわからないよね。
まあそれはちょっと違うまあわかんないけどどうすんだろうな
Some people think she's a top
ただ
five
捕まってもいい
character.
とは言ってるっぽい
Brimstone, this is guess for the game, and TKL's got
ここ
each with
入
a
れ
butt kick.
Oh, yeah, maybe holding up in that situation. Either way, Luffy just harassing with the slaps, the stand jabs, eventually bringing the giant swing back round.
It's what's very good about Luffy's Mika is he's very good at getting in your head.
Yes.
It's like you think Mika is not that great anymore. She got some fantastic buffs, good changes to help with her neutral game and conversions in general. It's how Luffy gets in your head. His mind games are some of the best in the Street Fighter business. I'm telling you, look what he's doing.
Man.
おーよよ
We almost had
け
him.
ど
Yeah, and I'm also
きついな
surprised TKR is still ready with the jump out there. Luffy kind of going to that same well where he's keeping him locked down on the ground before the command throw. TKR well aware in that situation.
I can't remember if these two played last year at this stage or in the top 8. I remember. And that's going to be EX Rainbow Typhoon, not the round yet. Knowing Luffy might double dash and do it again. Oh, he done one. He did,
Yeah. I thought we were going to see another get real frisky, but instead TKR, nice confirm off the low medium kick.
Watch out for wake up jab. Oh, nice delay. He was looking for it as well. Is he going to spend all the resources, Ringe?
Oh, V-shit, but it still gets punished. Beautiful stuff from TKR right there, not letting Luffy escape.
All right, there you go. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. You got to take the fight to Luffy. Remember, it's kind of,
ほんまや V ス
you
キル
know,
2 や
gambling versus solidity.
どっちにしろ V スキル使うとこないしな
This is not looking good. He might try to
か
do
弱い
it
とこ
to
そこ
bust
だよ
out.
マイ
The
クは
first
ちょ
one
っとあ
didn't
れや
work.
け
Keep
ど
on
マイクもそんな強な
There
ストルフあれだよ
That's
な
over
こ
the
の
EX
キャラ
window kick this time paying
恵
off.
まれてない
Wow, the slide wrist with no V trigger to cancel into.
Regular grab. Watch out for the medium punch. There it
白
is.
さん、今のブス1は適
That's
当
a good
に
button
使
for
って
medium
も
punch to
強い
stop
ですけ
the
ど
medium
ね。
stand medium
実
punch
質
because only
波動。
-2 and the
あー
pushback
確かに
is
あれどう変わったんやったっけ
really
分かっ
普通
てない
のミカとはまた違う感じする。
全然ちゃう
Just
よ
left at that optimal range, really.
フードミ
Just
カは
like
どっち
dominating
か
the
という
ground after that
と
block when even had
中
a negative frame
オラオラ
advantage.
オラオラって
throw
感じや
break
ろうけど
there. Go back to the neutral. Considerable likely here for Luffy to work
ルフ
with.
ィはなんか
Anything that's
その駒投
punishable
げの
block
当て
that
感
might
っ
be
ていうんか
CA.
な
He's
あ
got
れ
to be
がやっ
careful
ぱ
of
す
the
げえ
range.
と
He's
思う
not trapped in the
白
corner
さ
there,
ん、
Luffy.
14くらい跳ねる。硬直減った
Cancel, but Luffy still checking, not letting that Chun-Li get close enough to
遠
really
距離で
start
離れたら
big
まあ
offensive
バイゾンなん
games.
かあれ捕まえるのしんどいもんな
Neutral jump and actually does get the punish. I was scared that it
と
was
離れ
going
る
to
と
be a
す
little
ぐ
bit
マイ
too
ク
late.
や
Got a bit of throw. He has to block.
相手の角あって
Oh,
ね
he
ね。
got clipped,
多分
unfortunately.
フランスでは
There,
強い
Deshko
チュン
caught him
リー
in
や
a
な
huge amount of hit stun. I think he tried to run away afterwards,
Yeah.
but because of the frame advantage,
Exactly.
it kept him grounded. Got that nice, straightforward hit confirm with the stand medium punch into EX shooting Peach, one of the hardest hit confirms in the game.
And you know the way that whole played out at the end right there, right? It was a very unfamiliar situation to be in. Despite both of these characters being in the game since launch, you don't see a lot of the time where the fireball trades at the same time that Deshko hits. So TKR just unfamiliar with what he was able to do afterwards, and yeah, got caught
キャラ
slipping.
的
For
に
sure.
リカは
Could've said it better
どうしても
myself.
無理やり近づかなあかん
Wake up the
な
Deshko is an option.
Yeah.
As a defensive option.
Yeah.
People have been doing it since season 1, so people got to be careful of that. It's the crouch fierce, good punish. Full combo into light spin and bird kick. One throw will do it. There you go. And this is it. One of the reasons I like TKR going up against Luffy, like matchup-wise, is he doesn't like Mika, but he's not deterred by what Luffy does. Like I said, Luffy's very good with mind games, and a lot of people kind of fall victim and kind of play to his chin.
マイクでも
And
V
it's
ス
just
キ
like,
ル
right, it's a synchronized dance, but he's the
2チュン
puppeteer.
リーに V スキル2
But right now,
And I think that command grab aspect
Skill
of
two
Mika,
did
that
that.
really helps contribute to that fear, that intimidation, right? And TKR does not seem to be hampered by that. Does wake up with the jump,
あ
but
ーこれ
here
は
comes the stun.
ピヨルかな
Oh, he cracked. This is the thing he does. Sometimes you'll do the work for him. You're just like, oh, I know I'm starting.
でもあれもなんだっけ
You
当
know
て
you're
やって
doing
た
this
ところ
stuff.
でっていう
He's
レ
like,
ベ
if you
ルや
want
っ
to do
たっ
something, you do that.
けなん
You
か
want-
見たなファンの当てに行くどっちが
He's
強い
in
ねん
trouble.
っ
He
て
pressed the
いう
button. He's in trouble.
なんか
He's
やって
the
た
guessing
覚
game
えが
behind Mika, and he'll tell you she's bottom 5.
yeah.
He'll keep telling you that dream.
And that's the thing with the stun being high like that. I think that's usually a high
当てにくいスキ
frequency
ル
or
っ
high
て
usage
使
of
い勝手ある
EX
よな
reversal by players at top level. And you can see that's why
た
the
だそれ考
TKR
えた
switched
ら
at that
コー
time,
リンの
right?
当て身 V スキル
Right
は
when
やべえ
Luffy
けど
first started getting offense, and again, low stun still really just bust down with the SBKs, but he
あれ
can't
ぐ
turn
らい
it
か
into anything
あれ
else.
ぐらいの性能やったら多分他のキャラな使い勝手よかったのに
Trigger is going to activate off of his unshield.
何やねんあの
He needs a
コーリン
couple
コーリン
of
使って
grabs
た
here,
もんけど
maybe
あの
a
V スキル
medium
強え
or
な
fierce hit.
弱くはないな
Dream, please watch out for the super. You have to play
白
this
さん
right.、
心眼とブロとハンガリーの爪の赤を煎じて飲ませたい。
Crouch like kick.
He's
Did
lucky
challenge,
because,
did challenge.
べ別に言ってあれでもいいよコーリンの V スキル1のぐらいの性能でファンでやったら多分よかったかもコンボに組み込めるとかさ タゲコンとかあタゲコンねえかファンタゲコンないんだよな
But again, this is what I like him as a player going up against Luffy. He's been working out
四
so far.
まあ
Again,
な
Spinning
4
Bird
三
has
大
come
系
out a
三大 P
lot
か
more often than when I
三
watched
大
the
P に
Valmar
V スキル
set
2
they
キャンセ
had.
ルでき
But I
る
think
とか
both of them are going to crank
そ
it
ん
up
なん
a
せんとあれ
notch
絶
in this
対
last
使い
set.
勝手
Gets
悪い
the
よ
drop kick to the target combo, ending with heavy shoot Peach.
Oh,
I saw that double dash.
yeah, Luffy chasing down.
No punish on that.
This is big for TKR. Gonna give him some breathing room, but no, just like that whiffs.
当て身系の当て身系
2
の
or something. It's got a lot of active frames and well spaced shooting peaches.
まああれは取ったら
Will mess with his,
なあ
Now TKR does have an
Top
EX here, but yeah, I figured not gonna spin that
うわー
immediately, but you
届
block
くんや
that
こ
plus
ん
3.
なこの
Luffy
駒投げ
walks
の
back
ア
and
ホ
then walks back
アホ
in to the throw range, setting up for
マジ
set.
アホ
All right, this is not looking good. Couldn't use V-Trigger that round. Potentially on his last legs here to put him in the loser's bracket, TKR. And that's where the other Chun-Li is, Valmaster. Let's see if we can take this to a final round, Ringe.
Yeah, Luffy. looking to close this out before giving TKR that chance. Beautiful counter poke right there. Had the buffer behind it.
That's one of the new buffs that Mika got, right? The crouching median kick, special
ちょ
cancel.
っとルフィはそこでその駒投げ。
And he tried to jump out.
いやいやいやいや。
Work out.
格上よ格上。格上ですよ。おお。
No, he thought he was close enough, but it's
あえて
gonna be
使わなかった
punishing Peach, and this is where he's gonna roll around.
ただこのチュンリーがすごいもう嫌がってるね。とにかく近づかれたくないっていう。 さあこれはどっち？もうパナしてパナして。
That's why I love you. You are. He doesn't care. He knows he has to do that to get out and be able to play the game, but Luffy's not going to press a damn button unless it's a counter poke.
Yeah, fighting for his life at this point.
削
Trying
っ
to
て
stay
削
alive, but Luffy walking back, knowing that
なんか
TKR
どっかで
has to
前
come
して
to him.
あーこれは運が悪い。
Well done.
He was walking himself to the corner.
今のあれやったね。
The combination of
よう
the
反
warp
応したっ
speed
てい
and
うか。
potent buttons, it caught him off guard. Final round there.
まあ
I'm gonna do a shoulda, woulda,
と
coulda
確認。
after this game is done. Double dash.
こんだけ駒投げ打っとったらそれはジャンプしたなるわな。
Great adjustment too. Luffy had been harassing with that neutral jump pressure, but we talked about discipline trying to
クラカン
charge
取らない。
or trying to challenge the charge drop kick.
Watch out for V shifting might come. Not quite. He's blocking those mediums.
すら
Get
う
sweep
まい。
activate. It's gonna be a grab probably.
うおー
Yeah.
そこで駒投げ
Knockdown.
そ
Is
し
he
て
gonna
置き
go
攻
for another
め
grab? I would.
Yeah,
や
TKR
っぱりパナ
busting
す
out with the SBK.
う
The
っさ
whole
パナ
triple
す
dash
な
back in. Has to be triggered to activate on his own.
He needs a hit.
お球抜けるの
Right back.
わ
That was
ーお
so good from Luffy.
Yeah.
The
これは
non-charge drop kick, immediate command grab after the hit.
全然
Puts himself
ル
in
フ
top
ィ
8
のル
winners.
フィの駒投げは
The
ようわか
stand
る
light
わ。
kick might have been too far, but even if you don't get the combo, it's actually a frame trap, which makes that command grab legit. And because again,
やばいよな、あ
psychologically,
れ。
oh, I got hit. Luffy
多分おか
finished
し
the
いね。
target combo. I'll take the best for game scenario. Lo and behold, this is what makes Luffy one of the best,
知らない
if not the best
の
Mika
か。
in the world. He knows when a
ペシッて
reset.
落とすだけでも
Oh,
変わるの
he'll
に
tell you the
ね。
definition of a reset. It's not supposed to come when you expect it.
Yep.
これは
That's
二
it.
択攻め
He'll
られてる
purposely
わ。
drop combos because Mika's all about landing those grabs. Now, I'd probably say the
まあ逆に
biggest thing that
逆
happened
に
in this
ル
set
フィ
was
も
the
EX
amount of
EXP は
EX
食らいすぎやろっていうくらい
that will
食らってたけどね。
and this is the lack of
あ、卓だね、二択。
deterring like
わあ、あれ
TKI
確定なんや。
situation,
ない。
not phased by what Luffy's doing. This is someone who's faced Luffy for a while despite the scoreline. Took it down to the wire. There's one situation where we played on borrowed time where Luffy was walking himself to the corner and he had meter and TKI was using the fireballs. If he'd done EXP on reaction, that would have won the game there. But you know, Luffy, he loves his style. He knows what to do there. I would have liked to see a first of 3 with these two. It would have been really
まあ
good
弱
to see.
まあでもこの
Most
チュンリー
definitely.
強
And
か
I
っ
think, you know, when it comes to
こ
the
れは
walkout
な。
game where Luffy got caught slipping in that one route, I think that's something
そ
that
こでジャンプせるのは
even
多分
higher
無理やと
players
思う
fall
わ。
victim to, and that's that kind of falling back on your lead a little bit too hard, right? You're giving up a lot of space. You don't really cut off the opponent just because you feel comfortable and like they have to come to me. There's not a lot of time left, and a lot of the time I
そして
think
とりあえ
that
ず
kind
ウ
of
ィナー
takes
ズ側
players
は
out
決
of
まり
how
ま
they
した
play at
キ
their
ル
most
ゾ
comfortable.
キ
And
ル
because of that, that kind of
ゾ
throws
ヨ
them
イ
off from time
キ
to
ル
time.
ゾーか
Yeah,
キ
for
ル
sure.
ゾ
So,
ーカリン
sorry,
対
sorry,
ベガパッチ
um,
ファンジュ
This
リ
is how the
ミ
top
スター
8
クリム
is
ゾンダル
looking
シム
right now
対
for the
ルフ
winner
ィ
side. Kills you versus
ミカ
Mega
と
Patch. That's going to be around 1 in the top 8. And of course, the other side
まあ
of
ス
the
ペイ
winner
ン
side
勢
of the 8
対
is
フランス
Mr.
勢と
going
いう
up
試合に
against
なっておりま
Luffy.
す
Now, we saw this in the losers bracket with Hurricane and Infectious. So, a lot of the guys, or those two, you've done everybody else in this bracket a big favor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You've done everyone else in this bracket a big favor. These are some of the most consistent guys. You're looking at the 2 champions from last year's CPT, as well as, you know, 2nd and 3rd place, as well as 4th place here. So these guys are some of the favorites
The cream of the
this
crop.
weekend. So please keep an eye out for these players. Not just today or tomorrow, just in general. If they're not on your radar, make a note of it, man.
ラ
These
ガ
are
ち
some
ゃ
of
ん
the
ル
best
フィ
guys
しかわからん
we
おい
have
ら
in the
あ
European
そ
League.
う
So
こ
keep
の
an eye
中や
out
ったらミスタークリムゾンなんか結構ダルシム使いでヨーロッパ最強ダルシムっていう感じや
Froze, I
ね
believe
誰
that's
そ
how you
れ
say it.
わら
Froze. Against Masky, who is representing the
さあ
Dan
次はルー
right,
ザー
and
ズ側
Froze
です
on
け
the
ど
Balrog
ル
or the
ー
Honda.
ザーズ
We'll
側
see
だっ
what
た
they
ら
bring
もう
to
あ
the
れや
table.
ね
And
ま
of
あ
course,
俺もこの
after
中や
that,
っ
we
たら
got
バルマ
Jason
スぐらい
チームはもちさん
Loix versus
ハク
how
さん
did you say
あ
that?
れ
It was
実は
Frey?
クリム
Freya?
ソンらしいですね
マジでクリムソンなんや
I think that's
ゾンじゃ
And
ないんや
Valmaster
クリ
versus
ムソン
Meldominator, of course.
フランス語はわか
This
り
is
ま
going
す
to be a hell of a losers bracket round 1, and of course, all just to get to round 2 for those
ゾン
top
で
8
いいじゃん
qualifying matches.
クリ
Right?
ムソン
So it's going to be a brutal time down here, but I believe we do have Masky versus Froze. The head-to-head graphic going to be coming up soon. I mean, with the Den, I know that's what everybody wants to see, right? It's a fan favorite. Up against Borg or and Honda,
So, Froze came 9th in the first season.
ちなみにあれか、もしこれでベガパッチが優勝したら、優勝時にファンで優勝したか、もしくは準優勝すれば体操服から解禁。さあ、団体ダルシム。
I would because I'm like, well, okay. But I see personally, I see
団体
Dan
バイ
as
ソ
a
ンか。
huge
団体バイソン。まあ、バイソン有利だろう
If
け
you
ど。
don't know
どっ
what
ち有
he's
利
doing.
バイソン
He's going to
バイソン
get
だね。
frame
た
traps,
だ、
crush counters if you use
ダル
the taunt cancels. The V system beats him.
ダンを知ってるかどうかに変わると思うよ。
But people don't want to let that go. Depends on how your neutral game works out. I really am curious to see how Masky ゚d㚑 will deal with dash straight in general. Because Dan's limbs are not the greatest, but when he hits you, puts you in the corner, you're going to be convinced he is your worst matchup when he really isn't. But this is going to be an interesting one to see, nevertheless. Please keep an eye out for Masky ゚d㚑 as well as a Dan player, because we don't have many of those. And
いやー、俺も知らんよ。なんとなく勝ってる感じするけ
So
ど
let。me see what we've got here. So, wow. Do you know what you could have done? You could have done you can say just give us some sound. Don't just with Dan say you know. Is that
That's
what
not
he does
even
with
top 5. How many is that? That's like top 8 of the whole rappers, bro.
So does that oh, do you know what? I think he's going to do a
モル
mixtape.
トさんがいなかったら日本にダンはそこまで知られなかったよね。
まあさあ、そう、それはあるよ。
Do that, please. Someone's called themselves out on CFN. They have. Someone's done that. Someone has done that. Shouts to Ixie, and he
あ
has
れで
called
プロ
himself
が
that. I
対
mean,
策し
listen.
だしたから。
でも実際はかなり厳しい
Please
と思
don't,
う。
because you're just going to encourage people at home. It's
立ち回りは画面端はめちゃめちゃ強いけどな。
It's his fault. Anyway, we're going to get this match lined up. Hey, listen, you can go nuts with these names, right? But again, Dan's
プロ
stun
がしっ
output
かり
is
対
not
策
the
すると
greatest.
厳しいみたいですね。
Whereas Baron's damage output
やっ
and
ぱり
stun
そこは
output
仕
are
方ない
pretty
よ。
interesting. I think Dan's. I need to double check this on
Mikey
my
the
actual
Beast.
their FAT. Shouts to the guys that put the frame data apps together. I think Dan's 950 health, 1000 stun.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but
だから
again.
チーム戦のやつ
You're
モ
gonna
ル
see a
ト
lot
さ
of
んほとんど
buffers
ベンチだ
trying
っ
to get in range for the
た。わ
taunt
ら。
cancels.
まあ参加するってことだけやろな、あれは。
Will be how does Froze space himself against Dan's hard kick, because you can technically jump that before it comes out.
Okay.
You stand outside of its range, so I think there's going to be a lot of frustration on both ends, but for different reasons.
Absolutely, for sure. I think Masky can do whatever he can to try to get in that range where you said, like the V skill, that stuff you can start abusing it a little bit. He's going with V Trigger 1 as well. Interesting. Okay.
That projectile for V Trigger 1 is actually better than a lot of people think.
Okay.
They did buff it.
Yeah.
I think frame
白
advantage
さ
of
ん
block is
いるだ
different.
け
I
で
think
も
the
面倒なん
effects
ですけ
and
ど
hit
ね
is。different. I
ダ
could
ス
be
カ
wrong
はと
about
も
that.
かく
I
や
lack
け
a
ら
lot
い
of
キャラ
knowledge
の
on
た
V
めに
Trigger
時
1.
間費
But it's
や
a
さない
projectile
と
at
い
the
け
end of
な
the
いの
day.
で。
I
まあ
don't
ね。
think
まあその辺はハク
KT
君もね、
is
プ
gonna
ロ
go
ツアー
through it as well as you think.
リーグ戦で出たからしたから多少は
See, but right there,
わか
perfect
わか
spacing
るや
from
ん。
Masky, kind of baiting him
経
in.
験者や
最
けど。
初戦で最後ガチ君が涙した
Punishing
のは
but
マジで
moving
こっ
right
ち
back
も
at you
辛
with
か
punish
っ
with the
た。
buffer
だ
on
っ
the
てほ
punch
ぼ勝
behind
ち
it.
確やったからね。
Gotta get a dash check there.
キャラ
And
チー
again,
ム的に
because it's a
も
one
強
bar
いし。
trigger, you have to just see it as an extension, an extended
ほぼ
special.
ほぼ
I don't
勝
see that
っ
as
て
a
た
trigger.
と
I
思
see it as another
う。よう
special.
か
Yeah,
まくった
as
も
soon
う
as
向
they
こ
got
う
it,
が。
perfect spacing on that. Giving him a follow-up on the Tatsu.
Back throw will do it.
Big up.
And he
まあダンの
tries.
強い。
I'll wait for. I'll do a dash straight, but he doesn't need to.
最
Taunt
近
cancel
結構あれ
pressure.
だよな、ダンがなんか
Wood
あれ
for
使うこと多
already
くなった
reaching
よ
their active
な。
right, so he doesn't have access to that V shift, that V
川
reverse
野
that
が
you
バル
talked
ログ
about
出
to
した
kind
の
of
余裕があった
relieve
か
some
ら
of
踏
that
んだ
pressure.
のか。
This is the thing,
と
because
思っ
he
て
already
た
had
ん
a
だけ
bad
ど違
start,
っ
and
た
I
ん
think
で
there's
す
a
ね。
lot
すい
of
ませ
characters
ん。
who, if you have a bad
一
start,
回だけ
it
や
is
ったら
going
ゼロ
to
や
be
から
an
ね。
arduous journey coming back,
一回だけ。
right? And he's already got Masky ゚d㚑 trapped in the corner. There's that one bar, V trigger there. He's trying to work his way out.
Goodness, yeah, both of these players
なんか覇王昇降
down for
権
a
よう見
slobber
る
knocker.
な。
Like they're slugging out on hit, they're pressing buttons.
That screen carry there, Ridge. That was
もうちょっ
fantastic.
と早めに使うべきしかないかな、これ。
Ooh, this time checking the legs right
Yeah.
there. Of
ストフ
course,
ァ
they
イターリ
definitely
ーグ
looking
め
a
っ
little
ちゃ面
lost
白
against
か
this
っ
Dan. I
た。
won't hold
今
you.
年もやって
He's not
ほ
gonna
しい。
do it.
Oh, he
He's not
doesn't
gonna do it.
know. Oh, and then he got caught reaching while my Masky is out
マジ
here
で楽しみ
teaching.
でした。
Right,
Ma,
do you know what
cosa
you
fai?
can kick in his face?
Ooh,
いやー、
again.
これはちょっとバイソン側がダンを知ってないイメージあるな。
But you know
ちょっ
what?
と早めの V リバして、
epitome of
どうせ
Dan
1本やったらもうすぐ溜まるんや
as
し、
Listen, when Marsky goes up against
さ
anyone,
っさと履いて、ライン上げ直さんと多分きついと思
he
う。
is grinning his teeth and having a smile bigger
だか
bigger
ら
than the
俺
Cheshire
ダ
Cat
ン
from
は
Alice in
結
Wonderland.
構
He's just like,
V
この
this
バイソ
guy
ンラガちゃ
doesn't
んから
know.
見てどうなの
That's all I'm gonna do. That's really Dan's
マイク
pleasure.
早い、単語はいいと思う
You
よ。
are frothing at the
ダン
mouth
ってリー
when
チサールキャ
somebody
ラに
doesn't
弱いん
be
ですけど、
reversing
ダ
the
ッ
pressure.
スとガード
Telling
し
you,
た
man,
時点
Frozen's
で
got
ダ
some
ンの
switches
距
up
離
real
だ
quick,
か
and
ら
I don't
辛
know how
い。
much
う
Dan
まい。
experience he has, especially of a
な
Dan
いと思う
of
よ。
this
反
caliber.
応いい
This
し。
kid came out of nowhere. Trust me, I saw him like last year, and it's like,
おお、
damn.
うまい、飛び取った。
But again,
あー、
I'm a
これ美
poison
味しい。
player, so I see half these characters. I'm like, move
さあ、
on.
次ピヨるよ。あー、ピヨっ
You're
た。
gonna have to stun him.
Crack the dome piece
Aye,
right now.
aye.
He has to reset it, but he's not going to. Play it safe.
おお。
Wow, and Maskey willing to spin some of that meter in a
まあまあ、火
round
力
that
は
was
こ
looking
れ
a
ですよ
little
ね。
long.
バイソンのいいとこは全部出た。
Much better. I think he made slight adjustments more on the patient side as well as just being aggressive. I think he remembered which character he was playing.
おうまっ。
Wow, that was incredible having the buffer ready as well.
All right, pressure being applied in the corner there. Couldn't get a
ガンガン
tone
も反
cancel,
応
but
いい
he's
から
gonna
な。
get Gohan out of there. That staggered
スキ
pressure
ル
from
でキ
Stan
ャンセルかかってん
being
の分か
cancelled.
ってんのやったらもう
Remember,
さ
they
っさ
did
と書く
end.
べ
The
きや
pressure
ろ。
does end.
ザガちゃんに部分は結んでいこうぜ。
And
Yeah,
but
handle
the
the
thing is,
boom,
Maskey's
I'm with you.
getting that pressure at a lot of like optimal Tatsu range, right? So he's
Double.
doing plus frames if you don't check
Jump
the
into
kid.
it. Oh, he should have let that rock. He would have got more damage there, Ringe. But wake up
Yo,
buttons.
I'm-
Classic power
Oh,
of play.
てかこんだけなんていう煉獄みたいなのされてるんやったらもうバ
was
ンバンや
available.
って
Oh, you got
あ
caught thinking about
ー
it.
痛くー
My goodness, the
I respect
glass
it.
crashing.
痛くつえ
Just walking back, baiting him for a throw again.
Do you know what? Do you know
だ
how
け
I
して
like
も
that
吐いてん
finish?
のやったらもう
Because
吐い
Master
てもよかったと思う
That's
多
right.
分
Literally a minute
Yeah.
ago.
I was like, give him a taste of his own medicine, fam. Let him
やっ
know.
ぱコマラゲ
Okay, so
あの状況だとコ
aggressive
マラゲニュアンスだけでも
adjustments,
ほんま
I
に
think he still followed the
どうす
same
るってみたい
philosophy.
な話やし
It's
な
just kind of just first game jitters, remembering where you are, remember who you're playing against. Now, first to one territory, it's anybody's game. I think personally, I think Marsky tried to change up on all the stuff he was doing. It's like you don't really need to. Froze's been blocking. You've been taken to the corner slowly via block pressure, right? So
You know, Maskey, young, I think he said 19 years old, kind of came out of nowhere. That's something that I think a lot of young players fall victim to is adjusting before they actually need to, right? You'll be like, okay, I'm successful in this first game, but you have so much respect for your opponent at this level that you're like, oh, they're going to be countering some of the strats that I relied on in that first game. When you actually don't need to, you got to make them show that they're going to be able to adjust.
EX conversion into Dunk.
Yeah,
Kaku
kitzy.
gets the forward hard kick. I think that's forward hard
きつい
kick.
きついきつい
Yeah, that was not plus.
はい
So
出
he's
す
all right there.
うわーちょっと投げが多いね
Command grab, please don't DP.
あーピヨったー
Command grab, he had set him up with so many frame traps. Finally made sure to condition him to block and put himself on set point.
Right, because he's
てかあん
19,
だけ
I'm
投
just
げ
gonna
投げ
like
捨ててもよ
throw
ダンガーがちょっと
I think
結
he's
果多
gonna
いな
panic and you're probably gonna see a lot
投げ
more
捨ててもええ
reversals
と思うんやけど
than
な
usual. Maybe.
こんだけ食らってるんや
He's
っ
been
たら
playing pretty solid so far. It's just Froze's made the right adaptations when needed.
投げからのそのシミをうまい
Beautiful whip punish right there. Sending a message
シミからの
as well.
リ
Maskey
ターンの
pulled it
強
off
さ
to
が
try
リターン
to
がでかす
reverse
ぎ
with
て
his throne.
He's gonna crack. Gets an EX, Dunk Kaku straight to the mid screen. Good V shift. Even the break will work because you mess up the timing of the cancel. He's gonna jump
こ
into
れは
it
入っ
again.
た
Let it rock.
ダ
There you
ンダ
go.
ンと
Got more corner carry off of it as well. V shift is the corner.
あー
Ooh,
バレちゃ
got
った
caught
ちょ
press
っ
the
と刺
button.
さっちゃっ
Wrong
た
time to challenge the Dan need.
Don't cancel.
Hello,
Good
Kim.
B reversal here. 1EX dash straight will put him in a perilous situation. That was not needed.
白ゲージ溜まるからな白ゲージごと削られるときつい
Really come out
ね
cold when he didn't need to.
One throw will do it. Any hit will do it now. And he V shifted away. He's got one more trigger. Watch out. There you go. Don't cancel pressure. He's gonna pepper him away.
Just outside of the range, but Froze.
あーこれはちょっと甘え
Do
た
not
け
do
ど
anything silly. Oh no.
EX
Pressure.
EX
Yeah, that was a scary
EX
knee. I couldn't really
Ah.
tell myself.
Wow.
No.
I'm trying to think.
あれ
Was
どっ
that
か
the
で
heavy one or the
EX
medium? Because I think the heavy one's negative 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been the negative 2 right there, as you mentioned. But
まあキャ
real
なんだろうね
scrabbly
キ
way
ャ
to
ラ
end
さ
it
というか
regardless.
一発の火力
He
で
ended
ド
up
ーンっ
getting
て
the
感じ
throw
がする
after connecting with that final stand punch. Very, very scary.
Yeah, I think, look, even Froze will tell you, he probably lacks Dan experience,
Right.
but he was able to kind of bring it under control, you know, restore the status quo, as we'd like to say, and go, you know what, I am playing Boxer, one of the most formidable characters in the game, despite his changes. Obviously, Dan did get buffed as well, but yeah, first game, it was the knowledge check. It was the knowledge check, and It didn't look good. It looked dire in a couple of situations, but he slowed things down. I think he got a bit more tenacious on defense.
あれやね、その1試合目からちょっと修正してきて、結構だいぶVリバ入って、それでって感じだね。あとこのシミをだいぶ食らっちゃったんが痛いね。だいぶシミ食らっとったもんな。
Yeah, and remember when he flops the taunt cancel, he's in the counter hit state. So you can mess that up and then get counter hit damage unscaled at that as well. It's good stuff. I definitely felt
これほぼミスだね。
final game, final round. Just like you said,
多分タゲコンしてても死んでたやろうし。
unfortunate there for Marsky the Beast.
俺 EX 昇竜拳ぶっ放すかな思ってんけど。EX 昇竜ぶっ放しのためにあれわざとやったんかなと思ったけど。
Very scary with the way that started. If Maskey kind of just was able to steamroll him a little bit harder after that first game, I think he made some unnecessary adjustments in that game too. But it all comes with experience from Ryan and kind of playing these players from your region more and more. So definitely be on the lookout for him in the future. Froze going to be on to our round 2 of losers. And next up, I believe we have J Killa versus James 2088.
So I believe it's going to be Urian versus Alex. I think I have bumped into J Kill. I've definitely bumped into James. I might have bumped into the odd occasion here and there. This is going to be an interesting matchup because Alex has been on the rise. They like to call it the Alex Nation. Never seen your flag, but you know he's just rising up. Urian,
I know Demon Dad has it somewhere. He photoshopped it somewhere for sure.
Urian, unfortunately, he's on.
さあユリアン・アレックス、さあ強化した方と強化を
He undergone some, I think, some beneficial changes for the sake of the game.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it as diplomatically as possible. I think it was for the greater good.
Yeah, I get it.
A lot of people, a certain community won't agree with me. But he's still here. Urian players are still playing. You just have to change the way you play.
I was just watching Topanga and Shuto was still putting bodies in bags.
Listen, man. I'd fill up that bag like I put fruit in the basket. Urian is fine to me. Anyway, one interesting fact for you guys as well coming into this. Damn, these guys are some of the oldest players we have in this top 16 as well. So James lost his first game to Verdoyence's Rose. Verdoyence isn't in this bracket anymore. I can't remember who he lost to. But Verdoyence plays Rose. And he beat James round 1. James has been on a run since now. So I think the momentum's still with him, obviously, because you have to play until top 16, then there's a 2-hour break. So I don't know if he's still got it like just an iota of that momentum left. But he's been making an incredible losers run from losers round 1, round 2. But I believe we have a quote from J Killa, I believe it is. Put it on screen for me, please. What does it say, Rinch?
Shouts to my Madrid FGC crew. So, of course, putting Spain on the map once again, holding it down because, like we were talking about before, right? This is a sea of France, and there's a couple of sparse representation otherwise, and Mad FGC, that's what it stands for, the Madrid FGC. J Killa holding it down. One of the oldest players in the bracket, as you mentioned, too. So I imagine he's like a forefather of the scene, you know what I mean? It's probably helped develop that scene from its beginnings in the FGC.
This guy's got like 11 years on me. It's like when I was born, he's probably watching Looney Tunes or something. I don't know. And like, here we are
playing Street Fighter 2, bro.
Maybe. Like, look, here we are, man. It's like, again, because it doesn't matter what age you are. Come on over, play some fighting games. Obviously, people say you can't. Obviously, your reaction time gets a bit slower, but you can change. You can train your reactions as you get older. And listen, he's playing Urian. He's an ignorant character. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he's still prevalent in certain aspects. And like you said, Topanga, the guys over there in Topanga League, they've been doing a little bit of work. I think you just have to work a little bit harder. Well, I say a little bit harder, maybe a lot harder. Depending on your character, but you just get to see two characters that their position in the tier list has shifted like heavily. And again, outside of Dalsin players, I don't know. I think Urian players are the next best people that have voiced their concerns. I don't know. Do you agree with that?
I would agree with that for sure. I think a lot of the Urian players, especially at the beginning of the patch, were crying from the mountaintops for sure. But as you mentioned, right, there's things that definitely got harder. The EX headbutt not being a reversal, definitely rough for Urian in those aspects, right?
We're peachy over here, mate. We're peachy.
But at the same time, it's given him conversions from weird hits that have actually led him kind of get more of a reward than he would have otherwise. So there's there's a balance to it. Of course, it's definitely something that you drop off to gain something else, but that's how fighting games go.
The headbutt is still throw invincible.
Yeah,
But
facts.
what I like to see about Urian players, you test them, and if they do headbutt in a string, I'm like, you didn't read the patch notes. And then what's even interesting is when they do an headbutt and you punish incorrectly, I'm like, well, you didn't read the patch. It's just a very interesting situation what's panned out with Urian over time. But Jake Killer's got a very interesting patient style. Hoping this will work because Alex can basically run rampant when he smells blood. So let's be careful and be aware of that.
100%. He already has V-trigger, right? Already going to be willing to let the lariat fly if he gets the activate.
Good throw tech there. Alex has got some good options after a throw tech with the mediums, but he's going to get full throw here. With the B/elbow. I don't know why he's gone with V-trigger 1 here. I would have thought V-trigger 2 would have been better for Alex in this matchup, but I'm not a specialist, so.
We got an Aegis activate and just looked at him for a second into the Batista bomb.
I mean, seems fine to me.
He can still do that, right? He can still do EX with Aegis.
But the thing is, he has to actually rely more on that activation. That might be his best V-trigger activation route now. Okay. Because of everything that's changed. Low forward is still a very good one. Yeah. But I think just because of what Urian's boiled down to now, and the options he has available, which are like limited than before, it's going to be a rough ordeal for a lot of matchups. But again, you're just going to have to see that blue spot when you're blocking a lot more. So, I don't know.
And James, I think it's a little more comfortable in the second round. I think Alex could definitely hang with Urian on the ground, no problem. He just needs to not get intimidated by him.
All right, going to get that core punch kind of hit, but couldn't get the follow-up there. Really peppering. I feel like this range here, their mediums are pretty good, but I still feel Urian can be a little bit more obnoxious, a little bit more aggressive.
Especially with the way Jake Killer has been using the knees, but right now we're in the corner.
Gonna get some Oki as well. New change there for Alex. The late jab, he can stun him.
Oh, that knee puts him on the verge of it.
Was that the full combo? I don't know.
Yeah, either way, EX trying to keep those plus frames going, but we find a window to activate, jump right out.
Lovely defensive choice there from James, and that might be the round range dominant crush to end it there. There you go.
Shout out Dante with the jam
ピオらんかったんがあれやったな。
1-0 for J.
あれでピオってたな。
You know what's crazy as well? James didn't play bad that set.
No.
He had actually some pretty good choices. I think again, this I know Urian hasn't. He has substantially changed. He's undergone some very interesting changes throughout the lifespan of Street Fighter 5. But the fact that you are still obstinate with that V-trigger means there's still something to hang on to. And the fact that I feel that one of the priorities that the players need to have now in general is try and get him to capitulate, make him crack a V-reversal, V-shift, but they feel they don't need to.
Yeah.
Because you had a headbutt before, and I said had. Hey, you don't. Come on, grab to start things off.
Yeah, Hyper Bomb and with the meaty elbow slash afterwards. Good spacing from James here in this opening round.
Great dash shot power bomb. I think, yeah, he's going to try and introduce the element of surprise, maybe try and just catch a couple of grabs. Maybe regular throws will work later in the set as well, but we'll see. Got V-trigger ready and waiting there, J Killer.
Oh, hit big Hyper Bomb once again. Has him in the corner. Pretty much a textbook Alex round right there. Well done. I'm looking for J Killer to bring out the knees again. That was very successful for him in the first game. And he kind of got bullied at that range where knees is pretty decent at.
I think these guys are just really content with just blocking.
It's looking like it.
You know, I respect it, but again, you're going up against a grappler. What happens? They try to grab you.
You do got to do something other than just block at some point. But yeah, James doing a great job. You see harassing. We were talking about.
Okay, there's the V break, but goes back to neutral, and J Killer's got the life at the moment. But I believe Alex is the one working with more vitality. In general, that core kick could confirm to end it with a chariot tackle.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that must have been an execution error. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Good break.
Yeah, it really hasn't seemed like this V-Trigger 1 has really done anything so far. Oh, there we go. You're welcome. Quick commentator's curse for you real quick.
Good delay tech there as well. Head crush. Oh, he's going to do it again.
Oh, man. Walked up into forward fierce right there. Was looking for the big crush counter.
All right, he's going to block this out. He gets the break. He's going to have to firm it on defense. He's there. Lovely stuff there from James, and he's fine. Charge it up. Get that hard hit. Just wait. It's all good out here.
That big boot's going to break the glass. Be careful. Oh, but instead it's the hard hit on the jump in. It's a lot of damage.
He's that V-shift.
Oh, blocks the overhead. Nothing afterwards.
You know, they both have the overheads that are -8 on block. They have some of the most punishing.
Don't
do that. One low will do it.
あー惜しかった
So one low will do it indeed. The crouch medium kick after he lands from the neutral jump just outside the chop range. You can see both these players very well versed in each other's spaces and just staying outside.
アレックスはアレックス面白そうやでちょっと触ってみよう強なったみたいだし触ってみるかって触ったけどむずっと思った
It's like, Grinch, don't do that. And it's like, oh, we did.
これセンスいるわ
That's it. It just becomes sound effects on the soundboard. But yeah, these guys are working out here. It's one apiece right now. Interesting stuff there as well because slowed things down. I just feel the way this matchup is panning out. I'm going to mention this at the end when we review the set. I just think V Skill 2 and V Trigger 2 would do much better for James.
Okay.
Just the way he's playing and how J Kill is defending, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And we see the low hits have caught J Kill a couple of times, right? And you get so much off that with the V Trigger 2. You get the Tornado DDT confirmed.
All right, violent knee drop. And one thing you have to remember about Yurin, which is annoying for a lot of players, is his frame data keeps varying. Because you have to space the tackles, the knee drops, the headbutts from distance. You're never quite confident in certain situations how to punish him properly. So
Absolutely. Like,
that's something that's worked in his favor for years.
Yeah, right? It's just something that's always going to be present because it varies so often, and that's just not something that a lot of characters have in their arsenal.
All right, I think James is afraid to Kamanga right now. He might have went to that well a bit too often in the last game just to try and equalize it there, Ringe.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful counter that time. So the V-Trigger available was scouting the knees. Some good damage reward. Yeah, he loves that lariat after the command throw in the corner.
Oh, he tried to know the head. I don't think that's what he wanted. I think he wanted a stand medium punch.
Yeah.
He got the overhead, but J Killer detected it.
Chased down.
He's feeling himself. Yeah, he's feeling himself. Watch out for a head crush. He might do a regular one because he's feeling himself.
Yeah, he's got no EX meter.
We go いい試合してんな
Okay. A counter hit or a poke will do it here. He's not going to risk a jump in. Maybe he might.
Whoa! I was going to say these fireballs could definitely get stomped or headbutted.
Watch out. He's about to build the
Nice
one bar, and that metallic Sapphire
Tobi da.
was way too obvious. My mum saw that. She saw it. Said, don't do it, J Killer.
Unfortunate.
You're going to kill yourself. Don't do it.
The
今
name
月
said
もう
not
一回ぐらいい
going
ける
away
か
from the
な
opponent.
ゲーセン
James right now on set point.
平日なんだよ
Go
ないけるとした
forward, gonna challenge each other, make sure they take their turns back. Good check with the crouching medium punch. He keeps in the heavy one of Air Stampede. I don't know why.
The counter play, yeah, that crouch medium punch, a very strong button. Now it's his kit.
One grab.
The chop Kobashi.
Oh, and he done the jab buff into EX Flash Chop as well. Not looking good for J Killer. He's almost about to have a bar, and Mr. Miyagi chop didn't stun him.
And that's going to give J Killer a chance here. You need an Aegis and a Dream. Oh, does not challenge if that crouch medium can activate.
That might be a wrap. That might be it. The V-Trigger's gone.
Yeah.
And he's got way too much health to work with. This is a substantial life lead.
Oh, and while you're thinking about how to make that comeback, I got full CA. I don't really know how to get in. You get caught thinking a little bit too much, and Alex just nullifies that range that you thought you had with the EX Stun Gun headbutt. James in second round of Losers Top 16.
Well played there to James, continuing that emphatic journey through Losers Bracket indeed with newly buffed Alex. Unfortunate there to J Killer. Much appreciated for coming through, representing Spain. But he's no longer going to be repping the country. That's one less Spanish players for the French to worry about. Yeah, I felt this was a kind of, you know, slow, kind of we can chill and wait for the fireworks to pop off. They never really did. But, you know, it's interesting. James did win. I can't help but feel, I think a different change in B system would have changed this set, like, dramatically. I think just because of how he came at it, analytical, patient, we work with it. J Killer to me looks too conservative. I don't think things were done in trepidation. It's just like, this is what I've got to work with now.
Yeah.
I'm just a passive player. I don't have that kind of pivotal reversal, you know, the EX headbutt to come back. So it felt like, again, a lot of characters are just going to basically just stomp all over Urian, like Abigail's forward throw or his back throw, sorry. It's going to be rough. So that was unfortunate there. But good stuff there to James, and he's going to have to go up against Junior Leos Luke Ringe. That's going to be interesting later.
Most definitely. And yeah, I pretty much agree with you when it comes to the way J Killer kind of approached that matchup, right? He felt like he got bullied. He felt like the Alex was just controlling the pace constantly. And as you mentioned, a lot of players are going to feel more capable of doing that to Urian because of the no EX reversal. So as Urian players, I think they got to prep to make sure that they are ready for the over-aggression that a lot of players previously probably wouldn't have utilized up against them. So good stuff to James, though. He'll be in second round of Losers. And we got Loix and Freya, Wanmei, as well as Valmaster and Mel Dominant, all still to come, of course. But before we get to that, I want to give another shout out, of course, to Street Fighter Duel. You guys have seen the stage, you've seen the ad, you've heard us read it. The Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for download in China, with a global version coming soon. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now, and let's fight for each other and join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter.
Now, we are in third tournament for CPT.
Yes.
There's 19. Quick maths. There's still 16 more to go. The next one, I believe, I think the team's going to have to put it on my screen because I actually haven't. It's North America, Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
What does St. Cola call it? Mid-best?
Mid-best.
Is that what they call it? All right. Hopefully, you might see St. Cola next week. Who knows? But yes, if you are from this region, please get signing up because the sign-ups do close on May 30th. So that's still over just a week and a bit now. And then the stream is going to be happening on June 4th and June 5th. Pre-show done to you by some of the Midwest's best players, Brian F. and Rob TV. They'll be in there. They were basically top two. So I don't know if it's going to be a bout between them again or someone going to kind of defy destiny.
And I didn't realize that this is coming after Combo Breaker as well. So that's going to be coming after the Midwest versus West Coast 5v5. You feel me? So we'll see if Midwest is going to be feeling real nice and just flexing on everybody for that CPT, or if they're going to have something to prove after Combo Breaker. We're going to find out, of course, on June 4th and 5th. Make sure to tune in to Combo Breaker the weekend before that, I believe, on the Memorial Day weekend. As we got Midwest coming up June 4th, and then Japan after that. The heat is here.
Well, I'm telling you, you're going to be spoiled with gourmet street fighter action in general. Now, this is what's crazy, right? Because registration period for Japan, it should be open. It will be opening soon. But this year reminds me of good old SVO. It's a double elimination bracket. But them man over there, I'm going to go UK real quick. Them man over there have only got one chance.
One chance for Japan.
You got Daigo, you got Takedo, you got the John Takeuchi, you got Shuto, you got Dogo, you got Fudo.
The list goes on and on and on.
It's going to be rough. And they're going to be like, yeah, happy to be here. I mean, it's great. I mean, Takedo might not mind. He might just post another beamer on Twitter and just make everyone feel bad about themselves. It's like, God damn it, man. It's like, you have to do that to us? Really?
Yo, that's how you got to be after you get eliminated from the tournament. You're like, I got to make myself feel better somehow. Let me post the selfie with the beamer real quick.
Oh, man. Fantastic. But yes, as Rinj said, we'll make ourselves feel better. We're going to make ourselves feel better by taking a very quick break. And when we come back, more action from France, Spain, and Portugal. See you on the other side.
Street Fighter 2.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand after defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are street fighters.
チェンセントか。へえ。ストリートデュエルってチェンセントなの？すげえな。ファイヤーセーバー2。サイバー2とセーバー2流行ったらちょっと変わるんかな。ダッシュチュンリー。
こんばんは。
こんばんは。今日はちょっと久しぶりのミラー配信やっております。今日はあれっすわ。フランスとポルトガルとスペインの予選っすわ。 戦1日目か。
ストリートファイターシリーズの権利を日本で一元管理するらしいよ。
そう最近知ったけど、カプコンのなんだっけ、決算発表で言ってたね。一元管理。だから今これ出てる画面のやつも全部日本語表記になる可能性もあるね。ねえ。今までは海外表記のものしかなかったけど。オールバックネットコードついてるのすげえな。ダッシュバイソンなんて弱え。アパストで対戦できるのはすげえな。
久しぶりだね。ミラー配信。
そうやね。まあ去年はほとんどやってなかったけど、今年はちょっとできそうなんで、この中やったら俺はマジでウォーザードだけやりたい。ウォーザードだけはやりたい。昔クリアできんかったから。5月24日か。
自分も昔クリアできなかった。
あれはね、そのRPG と格ゲーを足したようなゲームやったけど、俺は結構好きやったけどね。まあ、対戦ゲーではなく、一人プレイ用って言ったら、ああいうのをちょっと今の格ゲーに入れてったらちょっと面白いとは思うけどね。パスワードっていうか。てかそれはありやと思うけどね、今のその世の中的に。格ゲーをそれをやるって言ったら、ウォーザード仕様で。その作ったキャラをレベルごとに対戦会にいるみたいな。
もしかしたらありかもしれん。めちゃヒットはしないけど、
めっちゃヒットはしないし、そのなんていうんかな、そのプロゲーマーとかからあんまり使われるのはしないかもしれんけど、そのやりたいっていう人たちにとっては、その俺強いし、なんかそういうのはありやとは思うよ。流行るかどうかは別だけど。
And welcome back to the Capcom Pro Tour. We are here bringing top 16 of France, Spain, and Portugal. Thank you everybody at home for joining myself and Jammers for an incredible top 16. We've already had some dope matches. We already have our top 8 winner side qualified in the books, but we got a couple of losers round matches to go for as well. How you doing, Jammers?
Yeah, I'm all good. Obviously during the break I had an encounter with the paper towels in the toilet.
We didn't have to tell them about that.
No, but I am going to. Probably have to let them know.
これ儲かってるとこに儲けに行くために主導するわな。
That's all I'm gonna do.
The short and
make it funny. Got to give people something to laugh at home. You know what it is. But yeah, much appreciate everyone to tuning in this weekend right now.
Differently in the UK.
Well, listen. I know that. I'm not at home. Alright, you're trying to remind me I'm not home. I've got 3 more days of you. Anyway, let's take a look at the bracket real quick. But make sure you tweet out the stream, twitch.tv/CapcomFires, and let everybody know there is another Super going live this weekend.
売上3億しかなくて8億円。しかも売上に関してましては2020年度から全く変わってません。
Loix vs Freya won May, and Valmaster vs Now Dominant. And then after that, we'll be closing out the day with the round 2 matches to see who qualifies for top 8.
ただこれ見るとね、営業利益的には2億円ぐらい減ってるんやけど、営業利益は2億っていうか2億減らした上がったんだけど、2023年の計画でマイナス13億が5億増えてるから、もしかしたらその5億っていうのは開発、ストリートファイター6の開発費用なのか、それともこのプロツアーが再開されることによっての金額、お金がかかってるのか、それはちょっとわからんけどね。赤字部門、唯一の赤字部門って言っても過言ではないからな。
So that is going to be Honda versus
一応300?
That's
過
my
去最高の
Yeah, I don't know if Loix has another character. Freya does have a
純利益
substitute
は過去
G,
最高や
but
から
because of
ね、
the
売上
changes
と。
Nash has undergone in the past year and a half, I wouldn't see a reason to not pick Nash. No reason to neglect him here. Now, the thing is, I'm going to be 100% real with you. I don't speak to a lot of Nash players because sometimes I'm like,
問
your
題はそ
neutral
の
is
な
so elusive. Your
カプコン
conversation
USA
is
から
a bit
その
elusive
日
as
本
well.
に
So I
権
don't
利
even
が
know if
戻
I'm
っ
going
て
to
た
get the
か
right
ら日
answer
本
out.
が権利戻したっていう
Anyway,
理由は多
Todd
分あれだろうな、
Seems
もう
to
少
be
し
the best
開発とか
player
も
in the world.
日本
Shout out
主
to
体で
Steve.
や
I
る
know
って
you
こ
watch
とや
it.
ろうな。
Still can't answer yet. Anyway,
まあアメリカ主体でやる理由はないっていう感じで。
it's a case where Nash got some interesting
that
changes,
almost.
and his neutral has always been like kind of what Infiltration showed us in 2016,
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Hit and run, all about the evasiveness, very just duck and weave sort of thing, and it's hard for a lot of people to control him. He's got a very good projectile game that has been buffed substantially over the years as well, that a lot of people still haven't wrapped their heads around because it's like, I don't know how it works, I know it's potent in the corner, but mid-screen, he's always able to change it. So, if you haven't seen much of Freya, because I know you commentated some of the songs,
Honda
I
Nash.
think this would be a very good
きつそうな
showcase for him,
Honda.
just to kind of give you a little bit more light on what he's really. I think he is probably the best Nash we have
Okay,
in Europe right
straight
now.
up. That's good to hear. So yeah, hopefully be repping today up against the Honda. I think Honda, I haven't really seen this matchup at this level, to be honest with you, right? With pretty underrepresented characters, Honda's still relatively new in comparison to Nash. So I'm very interested to see how Lois kind of approaches this. In my head, I feel like he could definitely do some things that annoy Nash a little bit. I think the EX butt slam, going through some of the projectile game in that medium range where Nash likes to play, can definitely maybe hinder what Nash wants to do.
まあオフラインとの大会が開けりゃ多少その入場利益みたいなのができたりするのか、まあエボでどうなるかや
rely
な。
on the experience and the ideas the players have in a matchup that's pretty new.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the main concerns you have to see is how Freya wants to defend, because obviously Nash doesn't have a strike V reversal. He's got an escape one.
Yeah.
So he's just going to just basically pass through if he gets pressured by hands too much. That's where he's going to have to rely on V-shift break, not even just the V-shift, because for characters that don't have a strike V reversal, their only thing to work with is V-shift break.
Yes.
And sometimes that might get baited if you use it in the incorrect scenario. So we'll see how it goes here. He's gone with V-Skill 2 and V-Trigger 2. I respect it. He wants to amplify.
Yeah.
Sonic Scythes can be an absolute nuisance for Honda to deal with at certain ranges. I think it's going to be probably death by 1,000 cuts for the both of them. I know they got good combos and they inflict an incredible amount of damage, but we'll see how it goes.
さあ、ホンダなし。
They're both gone with V-Skill 2, so they're going to amplify their specials and try and get
見た
as
こ
much
とね。
control in neutral as possible.
やっぱオンラインではあれだね、ためキャラ強いな。これどうなの組み合わせ的に。
Okay, walks under, good walk under there. Intermediate punch, heavy sonic scythe, and walk under the moonsault. Damn, these guys like walking under each other's stuff.
Yeah. Good answer that time though, and immediate cancel into the
た
side.
だナッシュが攻めてるな。
Stealing meter, I like it.
EX in the corner, you
暴れちゃ
mentioned
っ
it, and it's
た。
not your turn, fam. I'm not sure what the ambitious decision that Loix went with there,
ス
but
ト
usually
6
you
に
cannot
関して
press
は
after
カ
that.
プコンど
This
うなん
guy
だろう
doesn't get
ね。
spoken about enough, you know. He's got that new bazooka knee change as well. He's got target combo for that now. The forward
Mega
light kick into stand or stand
出ました、メガネ
I
クイ
think
ーン。
that's what it was called. Obviously, he had a 3-frame
おー、
button.
アーマーで
He's
潰し
had
た。
that for so long.
試させ
He's
な
got some
い。
interesting changes. I don't think this character is like particularly bad.
これはちょっとナッシュペースか
He's mauling in the
刷
corner
新
now.
要素。
He's
お
always
ー
had good frame data.
Yeah.
No
相
one
打ち
really spoke about this guy's frame data. His
出
neutral
た、
was
いい
a
つや
big
か。
problem, but his frame data is always been pretty damn good.
And then wigging up with the buttons again. This is a great look for Freya. Oh, the knee once again in the face.
あれや
and then
ね
just walking back, catching
膝が
Loix at the wrongest moment.
的確に当たって
trying to
て
do something.
うざいタイミングで出してくんな
this
膝
matchup basically was world record time.
ロバットより膝ですよやっ
biggest,
ぱり
biggest concern is the fireball.
Yeah.
Because, right, it's Sonic Boom, especially in the corner, is +2. I think it varies depending on your timing. I could be incorrect about that part. But another change that was interesting is when you throw a regular one, if you have the bar, you can press 2 buttons to follow up with an EX version. That's what's going to throw a lot of people off. And because Loix doesn't pick V-Skill 1, just the clap and then
Yeah.
absorb it, he'd have to do too much to get around the projectile game Nash doesn't have to rely on. That's the biggest concern for me in this matchup watching it from here.
So yeah, considering that Loix win with V-Skill 2, it looks like they're going back to the character select screen. Do you think that's the thing he's changing?
He might do so. It might help
V-Skill
him
1
with.
get buffed?
It did because
did,
you can cancel special cancelable normals can go into it.
There you go.
I
Okay,
can't
okay,
remember
okay.
if he can do something after it that he can do
Gotcha,
before,
gotcha, okay.
but maybe that might be something useful. I think he needs to be a little bit more ignorant. He didn't V reversal.
Yeah.
This is a matchup where it just looks atrocious from start to
さすがに
If
ホンダは
Freya
き
didn't
つい
tell
だ
you
ろ
that in the
う
first game,
変えるじゃねえのかなキャ
I
ラ
don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And like you said, this is a matchup we seldom see or don't see. He's picked V-Skill 1.
did,
All right,
okay.
cool. So maybe it's going to help, but the thing is now he has to be more attentive to Freya's meter because
Sa,
if you
kaya
attack the
nakita
wrong
ka?
thing, he might get a counter hit converted off an EX Sonic Boom.
さあ、ホンダ。
For Lloyd,
さあ、キャラ変えて。
ideal
おお、
scenario
猫
was
騙
right
し。
here. That was a great headbutt cancel off that clap.
猫騙しに変えてきた。V スキル変えてきたね。
It was
いちいち。
definitely primary ideal situation here. Just
鬼
to
無双
play
じゃないんだ。
offense, get Nash in the corner and not have to worry about that neutral. Not worry
ただ
about
どっちかっていうと
considering
ホン
all
ダ
the
側が
options,
め
but
っちゃ
right
き
now
つ
Freya
そうなんや
turns
け
it
ど。
around quick.
Yeah, there's been a lot of arbitrary sweeps from Freya
Oh, yeah.
this set so far, but again, that's a fast sweep. If you can't punish it from max distance, it's actually pretty difficult for Honda to do anyway. So
猫試しってどこまで強いんかがわからん。
Beautiful right there.
Face trap.
あ、
Oh,
これ死
he
んだ
could lose the game if he gets the
は
right
い、
reset.
ドン。
No, he doesn't need to.
すぐ
相性はキャラアイ
Still
でカ
alive,
バ
but
ー
he
だ
might do try to the assault.
ホンダ使ったやつがキャラアイ。あ、これは死んだんじゃね。おらおらおらおらおらおら。
Man's Lloyd's
おお、
too
駒投げ。
tight for a reset. Thought he would be able to catch him sleeping a little bit, but Freya well away.
I don't play Nash, by the way. I'm just saying, I don't play
you
Nash,
do.
by the way. That's it. I think that projectile, that new buff, is what's really annoying him. No punishable there, too far away, has to deal with this. He tried to backdash, but you can't backdash in that scenario, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Gotta firm it.
That's why I like Lloyd's utilizing the EX butt slam, get in, doesn't have any meter to do it again, just got it back. Ooh,
Yeah.
that headbutt.
He's trying to stop headbutt with jab checks and booms before it comes out. I think just throwing the
おりゃお
boom
り
is
ゃ。
fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, you've got two
や
bars.
っぱ弾持ってるキャラにはホンダめんどくさす
He doesn't
弱
want to
そうや
clap
ね
and cancel.
いいな。
Sounds like an album.
バイソン使ってて思う。
Cancel. That's
結
gonna be punished.
構ホンダめんどくさいっていうか多分不利なんだろうなと思いながらやってる。
His hands harassing at the corner, but waits
なんか
up the
そう
EX
セミ滅
result.
みたいなことしたな。
Here comes.
うわー無理やりいっ
EX
た
headbutt finally finding its mark right there. We've seen Lloyd's go with it a couple of times. Couldn't really come up with anything big, but there it was. My man's Jammer's trying to V-skill one a Nat in the studio right now.
You guys can't see us on camera.
he was close. He didn't
バ
want
イ
to
ソ
make
ンは
noise
多
to the mics,
分
but
あ
I
れだよ
understand.
な
Alright,
不利
gets
っ
the
て
back
思われ
throw.
るの
He's
は
got
まあ
two
ファン
bars
ファン
again.
ララは
And
多
yeah,
分
this
絶
is the
対
problem. I think
明
this
確
is
に
it.
不
I'm
利
gonna
だ
make
ろう
note
け
of
ど
this once we're done today.
あとホンダ
Nice
と
headbutt.
ホンダ
Yes, remember,
ジュリー
back
コ
to
ー
back
ディ
with the
も不利
headbutts.
なん
Now,
だ
you
ろう
talk
な
about
多
Lloyd's
分
not getting ignorant enough in that first
さあ
match.
走ってきたよ
Oh, here
Die.
comes this amazing.
Die.
It doesn't get spoken
no.
about enough.
Nah, it's ridiculous. You
Yes,
remember
it
the
is.
Intel World Open, fam. We
Wow.
saw this
Suicide.
trigger run rough
Just throw
shot.
him. Just throw him. Thank
Oh my-
you. Well, I know he
まだあるよ発動サイズあ
No, that's a whip.
Ah,
Oh, not
ne-
a big punish, though.
He's gonna try. Come on, grab him.
鬼無双失敗
Oh, and Freya escaping by the skin of
Yeah.
their teeth right there. Closing out the set 2-0. That was a dangerous whiff at the end. But luckily, Loix not having the full punish ready. Freya closing out the set, holding on to the lead.
Adaptations and strategy too little too late. Unfortunate, but we were seeing signs of life there. He swapped to the V-Skill
Yeah.
1. It didn't make a massive difference, but it was something that gave, again, the more tools you have at your disposal to get your opponent to consider certain scenarios and forget
いい
about
試合
other
だ
things,
な
the better.
さああと
When
1
you
試合
pick
か
that V-Skill
バルマ
1,
スタイ
that's exactly
あ試合ちゃうわあと2試合やるのか
okay, yes, you can absorb one projectile, but because that new change, that might be the crux, the fulcrum of that matchup there.
Yeah.
It's like when I have meter, what am I going to do? Am I going to throw one boom and you're going to clap it? Or am I going to do one boom and then throw another one there as well? But I like how that one panned out. I know it's a matchup we're probably not going to see for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm going to make notes on that anyway. But well played to Freya 1May. Please keep an eye out for this guy's Nash. He's like I didn't spread the V-Trigger 2 propaganda. Don't worry. Listen, if you've seen that stuff that's V-Trigger enough, that is better than people think.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have to speak about it if you see it enough. Like that V-Trigger 2 is the skipping the neutral type joints. That's a prime skipping neutral material. That
And
V-Trigger.
the ways he can activate into it now, I think he has some of the most flexible activation moves with that. Because remember, he can do Fireball with Fireball.
True.
And they took that with Makuma.
True.
And it's a very big thing in this game. But anyway, we can talk about Nash more later because Freya 1May, he will be going up against Akainu later. So don't worry, Freya. I'm going to spread that V-Trigger 2 propaganda. I'm going to make people see the real light behind that thing. But yeah, well played to him. Unfortunate there. But yes, we are going to now our last match of Losers Top 16 Round 1. We did see it in the bracket just a couple seconds ago. We're getting the guys in the lobby setting it up right now. It will be Maldominant.
Indeed.
Going up against Valmaster. So, Valmaster, he took a very long break, a huge hiatus from the game for a little while. And he kind of came back last year.
Okay.
Very active, entering salt mines and, practicing Chun-Li, dabbling with other characters as well. But late last year, probably November time, really hit the ground running. I think he came 9th their last CPC, so he didn't make the top 8. This is going to be a big change for him. But again, he's a staple. He's an iconic figure in the French scene.
I can't believe he's only 27 because I feel like he's been around forever. As long as I've been in the fighting game community, I feel like I know Valmaster.
Do you know what's crazy? I said this when we had them on the show. When he
バルマスターはあれやったな、そういやエボの時にビビチュンリーとやってて、同キャラ戦やって確かビビがアメリカのそうそう。
But it's like again, you get a new influx of players. People are new.
こんな覚えである
these
な。
guys, and it's again.
でもあれってでももう7年前やからその時20歳か。
Like in terms of social media and content creation. So there's going to be a couple of people you don't really know about. Some people said, who's Valmaster? And I was like, oh.
Yeah. How did you not know? But it's okay, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, just quickly, his opponent, Maldominant, he actually like improved and grew as a Yurian player in the past like 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
He was very active. The best way for me to describe him is he doesn't like to block.
All right.
But because
I can get behind that.
Because of the changes, he's kind of had to learn how to do it. I felt he didn't block before unless you put him in block stun.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Unless he was already blocking, he wasn't blocking. I get it. Listen,
you're going to see how active this guy is. You're going to think there's not a problem here in the way he plays. But he's got some very creative conversions. I'm hoping he can land them. But we've seen this matchup a fair bit in SFL last year, Japan. I think a bit in Street Fighter.
どうなるこれは。まあまあ安いか。
It's going to be an interesting match. I think it favors like Chun-Li pretty much lopsided now. But we'll see how it unfolds between these two.
Yeah, close mirror, trying to get real intimate to CQC, but male dominant not quite quick enough on the trigger.
Oh, Valmaster's gone with V trigger.
これはあるのか
Okay, I'm going to ask him about that later.
あるのか
Because I do talk to this guy and play him on a regular basis. I haven't been able to play because I've been here. But let's see how he activates it. But he loves the new changes with Chun-Li.
これ死んだか。お、見取り1か。うまい。
Perfectly timed button press from Valmaster. Pretty much right. We saw him wait a second, give Mel Dominant a chance to do something after the EX tackle. Of course, -2. But still, Valmaster found that moment of flinching from Mel Dominant's side.
Yeah, listen, man, this guy's a Chun-Li aficionado. Any game you put Chun-Li in, he'll be there.
Yeah.
And she's got tight combos, like execution-heavy combos. He will learn them. He loves his execution. This guy's one of the most dexterous men we have in the European scene.
So, I mean, both of these players should have heavy rewards off any hit they get.
Oh, try to throw, gets the spinning bird kick there.
Nice challenge again, and yeah, just double jab into the headbutt. Very optimal.
Goes for a delayed medium punch. He's trying to get something going here, Mal Dominant. He really wants to keep him in the corner.
EX busts out, has the corner locked down now.
+2 on the Metallic Sphere. Watch out for Hazanshu. You throw a 5, well, that might be Hazanshu in reaction.
Yeah, and that's why Mel Dominant keeping it holstered right now.
It
was 2-4 no whip punish though.
Unfortunately, because this hitbox is, it looks like it goes upwards. It's not as like a Lucia or a Poison, something like that. Maybe even a Rose.
Yeah, definitely a bit weird to punish that V-break.
Right, if you do something silly, you're gonna lose, but he didn't. I like it. The thing is, I felt because like the lack of defensive options that Yurian has available to him now, they've had to like go for the gusto, pile on that pressure, and just move forward like a walking brick wall from Indiana Jones. Sometimes it feels like that sometimes.
I mean, that's most definitely, I think, a big aspect in fighting the Inspired. You gotta have to have that characteristic in your game plan. It's just the optimal way to play with a certain life lead up against certain characters.
Right now, it is about
今この組み合わせってどうなんだろうやっぱチュンリーが有利なんかなどっちもリーチ長いしな
It's not something that Mal Dominant can reduce.
You see that tackle got caught in the startup, but this time the EX busts out. Good defense on the Aegis. Gonna get the one hit at the end into the reset. Tried to shimmy him, but no bites.
He's out. He's still got one more mirror to work with, and he hasn't got any meter to kind of force Valmaster to guess. He checked. Whoa, wow. He anticipated a backdash.
Yeah.
Put the mirror out. There you go. Oh, it's not there. He put the wrong mirror out. I think he went behind there. Yeah,
he did. Surprised. Yeah, you usually see the close or the up mirror in that situation.
Watch out for the jab buff or anything into EX legs, but he didn't need it. And he misses the cancel, but luckily enough, the second chance to win the game came about. Gets that jab check. Mal Dominant is looking quite fidgety and agitated there.
Yeah, even at the end right there, right, we saw the combo not fully completed, and he immediately dashed forward. You talked about his activity, his aggressiveness, whether it be on defense or offense, and we really saw it on display in that last moment. So it feels like it's good in the matchup, I think, but you got to really harness it. You got to control it, right? I think right now is a little bit off the rails when it comes to his aggression.
I'm just trying to look. I don't think Maldominant entered the CPTs last year. If he did, he didn't make it to this stage. So this is a big improvement for him in general. I know one of his biggest results was a PlayStation tournament we did, me, Vicious, and David not too long ago. I think he came 4th, I believe, in that event. But again, big improvements for making it this far for anyone.
And right there, even putting up that vertical fireball, catching Valmaster jumping, really reacted to that fireball with a jump and got caught for it.
All right, staggered pressure, and the thing is that crouch hard punch, +1 unblocked from the second hit. Chun-Li's buttons are still good, man. We all spoke about the problem, but we forgot about the others. Good blocks there. The defensive sequence from Valmaster, sensational stuff.
でもやっぱり
Yeah, it's so easy
ユ
to
リアン
walk
ボ
back
ールが
after
な
that
っ
first
た
drop
な
from kick, and instead he just held it down back, didn't get his legs exposed at all. Beautiful anti-air and the cross under as well.
Watch out for the other head. Oh, he went low.
Ooh,
Well, you got me.
やっぱ4プレで無敵ないって
thing, right?
きつ
You
い
do
よ
have to watch out for
な
that when you're on the verge of dying up against Chun-Li. She could easily stomp your head in.
I like that. All right. Stand hard kick, couldn't get the cancel again. He's had a couple of drops today, Valmaster. I noticed that when he was playing against Luffy when I was watching their match on CFN earlier today. But it's not like letting him down too harshly.
Still putting him in decent positions.
A hit confirm into the CA. He might do it now, though. If he gets a hit, he might do it to CA now.
I could definitely see. Willing to spin the meter now where he wasn't before.
Yeah, there's a lack of confidence and strategy in the way Maldominant's playing. He is actually perplexed. He doesn't know what to do.
I was going to say, definitely a loss in strategy. But, you know, you can throw all that out the window as long as you can get that offense going. You get close, you make the opponent guess between strike throw. So he's trying to do force his way with the EX, but a beautiful backdash from Valmaster going to make that whiff.
Yes, wise choice there from Valmaster because this is not going to kill. But what it's going to do is it's going to put Maldominant to guess for the round. No more EX headbutt. You're not going to V-shift. Pick your poison.
おー避けた。でも投げた。
Couldn't survive the corner long enough. Valmaster taking it 2-0. I do love the block, though, considering that he got clip low last time. Thought that he would switch it up and go for the overhead, which he did, but Valmaster just stayed in control of that set. It really felt like the experience gap played a big factor there.
Well played to Valmaster. Another efficient performance by him. Not in the top 8 yet. Still has one more match to play to kind of solidify that. Like we said, he made 9th last time he entered the CPT, the second and final one for this region here. It'd be a shame if he got the 9th place curse. But again, with the amount of practice and time he's been putting in, he's been playing Phenom. I've been playing him as well. You know, he's been playing a lot of the European guys, entering Salt Mine Leagues and getting some good results from there as well. He's really trying to put in the work, and he's one of the contenders. For me personally, he could go the distance and qualify for the cup. Obviously, he did tell me there's somebody he doesn't want to fight, but I think it's a general consensus with the French community at the moment, but we'll see. But yeah, Maldominant had a good start. I don't think it was a preemptive sprint. I think it was just a case of he tried to surprise Valmaster and really check the knowledge on how much he knows Yurin currently. But as the set went on, I think the kind of not motivation, the confidence and kind of the determination, it was slowly deteriorating because it's like, I don't think Yurin can cut it against someone of Valmaster's caliber using Chun-Li, especially how she got buffed and Yurin got toned down a little bit, you know. It was pretty unfortunate, but Valmaster's qualifying match is going to be Link x Zello. That might be a Luke pick. It could be Nakali. It's interesting, but you know what? We got to move on. I mean, Ringe, who have we got next?
We got TKR versus Froze next, so it's going to be the Chun that we just spoke about with Valmaster. We're going to run back real quick up against Froze on the Balrog or the Honda. We're going to see, of course, Froze just barely squeaked it out up against Maskey on that Dan in the previous losers round 1. And then on the other hand, TKR falling to Luffy, right, in a pretty intense set up in winner's bracket. So looking to bounce back from that, get his own top 8 spot while Froze trying to let it be known that the Balrog is here to make top 8.
For sure. So yeah, we're going to see Chun-Li versus Boxer. Have we seen this much so far? I don't think so. Probably on an odd YouTube replay here and there. I don't think anything significant has happened where we've seen Boxer and Chun-Li. You're probably going to see Chun-Li more often this year than Boxer. Don't be fooled. Boxer players are trying to hide on the radar like Rashid players always do. Calling you out, Rashid players. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I think Stand Hard Kick might be a big factor here for actually both characters. Stand Hard Kick for Chun-Li, neutral factor to preemptively stop dash straight, get crush counter. Chun-Li got good punishes. I feel she got good crouch jab, good crouch light kick against poorly spaced dash straights. I think the question is, what kind of experience does Froze have against Valmaster and Chun-Li in general, especially this version of the game. I can't remember if I can't remember if TKR and Froze faced in the top 8 last year.
I don't think
I want
so.
to, you know, I really want to double check. They both featured there. I can't remember if that was the match that knocked TKR out of the tournament. They could be finished in the same position. So I might have to double check the bracket.
Well, you can double check it while we talk about this. But TKR and Froze, of course. TKR woke up with a lot of spinning bird kicks when we saw up against Luffy, right? Was constantly making sure that he never really got conditioned.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care what you're coming at me with. I know that Mika's game plan is strike throw, and you are so good at it in certain scenarios that I'm going to keep committing to the SPK. So I'm very interested in seeing how they play defensive against Balrog here. And once Balrog does get into that range, we can kind of impose his will.
So Froze's gone with V skill 1 and V trigger 1, so he's gone with an all V skill or V system 1 loadout.
The stock stuff.
TKR has gone with the second loadout for the V system, V trigger 2 and V skill 2. I'm not sure if Hazanshi will go over dash straight, but it's -4 on block. If you space them, because you can kind of pilot Hazanshi. I'm not sure if you can kind of throw off Froze with that. I don't know. I don't see Chun-Li players resorting to that as much as they do. I just see it as a combo or activation for them. So.
That'd be interesting to though see if TKR can bring this out as a neutral option. Just to throw off Froze, we talked about earlier, right? Overwhelming your opponent's mental stack, just putting as many things on them to worry about as possible. That could be something to at least show the opponent early.
Yeah,
look at the stand heavy kicks, bro. You were talking about it. They're fishing.
They will do it, and it's one of those normals in the game where it's like, it's a heavy, but it feels it's got less recovery than a light. It really feels like that sometimes.
Right? Yeah.
Could be reversal, keep him in check. Can we get a throw maybe? Too far. He's probably going to allow. No, maybe not.
Oh, just whip. Resulting in a quick trade.
I know I didn't.
かなり前捨て突っ込んでくるな。
Now he's going to do it. There you go. Good patience there from Froze. 1EX dash straight will do it though.
Oh, they get good low.
He shifts. Just going to firm it out. Wait for his chime. Probably going to buff into a dash straight or something. EX dash straight is still a threat though.
This was a scary scenario though. We talked about players getting too timid with the life lead. Gets guard broken into the throw reset. TKR bringing it back. That's why you got to be a little bit careful with how much you switch your game plan up when you have a life lead.
Big risk there from TKR. I thought a 2-bar combo heavily scared would have done the trick, but listen, he knows Chun-Li way better than I do. And I'm surprised that Froze didn't try and V-shift from the guard break.
Yeah, true.
Well, okay.
Screw up.
Yeah, I mean, how haphazard it may be.
TKR on the corner. Yeah, we talked about make your opponent think about as many things as possible. That's what maybe Froze was looking for there. Kind of walk forward, getting checked for it.
I like these crouch medium punch buffers, but unfortunately to no avail. One guess for the game. Try to go for a delayed throw tech. Not working. TKR's been as aggressive as can be and closes out that round with a forward medium punch. He was really on the back foot for the majority of that set there, Froze. So that was crazy.
That was a suffocation from TKR in the corner right there. Legit, not letting him have any type of space, no breathing room. I love at the end right there. As soon as he got out of throw range, he was like, I'm not even making you guess between strike throw. I'm not walking forward. I'm just hitting the back forward medium punch. Keep it compact and safe.
The thing is as well, you can kind of see what Froze's strategy is, the intent there. He's trying to deal with stand hard kick. He's trying to space check. Okay, I'll just use another normal and get it from another range. There you go, get nice buffer. I have the charge ready.
Yeah, definitely have the charge ready. Yeah, ended up contesting that overhead, or excuse me, the little big kick that Chun-Li has.
Forward HK.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there you go. See, he's really trying to counterpoke because he knows he has to counterpoke. That's how
control
in this matchup. But here's the thing. He had a life lead in the first round and TKR brought it back. Deja vu all over again. Putting it out there, just splurging the meat on Kikosho's. Good block.
But I'm a little concerned with Froze's defense in those scenarios. I think he's blocking a little bit too much. That's what cost him that round where he had a significant life lead. We are back to neutral now, though.
I don't think it's out of panic. I think it's out of uncertainty.
For sure.
I don't think he wants the challenge because he hasn't actually challenged TKR at all.
Ooh.
TKR. That is such a TKR move. And he's smiling. I know he's smiling. Oh, my Lord of mercy. TKR, I told you. Listen, electrifying region.
Come on, man.
I said you're going to see it.
Forward heavy kick on block into CA. You're going to be disrespectful like that?
My man's in your head.
That's what I'm saying. The mental, I'm crumbled, but Froze he's looking angry, to be honest.
Do you know what's crazy? If that was the trigger to make you play quicker than you were already, so be it.
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness.
You see why I had to fly 6,000 miles plus to get away from these people?
Need a break, need a vacation from stuff like this. What do you mean? I can't believe he pulled that out still.
Just because of what he's done, he might finish it with super again. Yeah, he's going to super it.
Oh my god.
The CA to close out the entire set. Does Balrog have enough life? No, sir. Oh no!
Whoever's handling the Catcom Fighters Twitter account, can you get the first round where he did forward HK into super? Like he knew. And do you know what's crazy? I think because he was so rigid, so methodical with what he was doing. I'm talking about Froze. I'm not talking about TK. I don't care about TK right now. Because Froze was so scripted, that was like guaranteed. And here's the thing, right? It's tournament. He had one game up, and he risked it down. Like, TKR, why have you got to be like that?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, what in the world, man? A game up, first round, didn't really... But that's the best time to do things like that, isn't it? It's like when the opponent doesn't feel the desperation is coming, when you don't feel like they have any reason to do anything wild. That is the time to do something wild.
I need to check the health bars, because if that was blocked, he'd have lost, but it's like he just
knew. He would have lost for sure, from what I remember.
It's just like, TKR, do you know what?
あと4試合、もうほぼ終わりなんやけどね。あと4試合で終わり。
But I can't really say much because
despicable but impressive.
He's in the top 8. I'm not.
That's facts.
He's in the top 8
because of decisions like that. That was the -2 forward heavy kick. You want to try to take your turn? I mean, you pay for it dearly.
Spinner bird kick would have made a little bit more sense. But he said, nah, you know what? I want the big bucks. I want the Benjamin Franklins. I want to take all of it. And do you know what's crazy? He said, I don't want the round. I want your dignity with it as a side dish.
The mental damage to carry over into the next round. Beautiful stuff.
So I believe that means Froze has exited the tournament, comes 9th. So that was one of the places he got last year. TKR back in the top 8, showing that consistency as well. I mean, if that's any indication to people at home or the other competitors in the top 8, just be careful. He might do that to you tomorrow if you're not careful. He might do it to you, so please be careful. But yeah, I mean, let's take a quick look at the bracket once again. I believe unfortunate there, you don't want to bow out like that, but just judging by how TKO is going, it's going to be super. But yes, what a way to end this segment.
Yeah, we got 3 more matches to go in the round 2 of top 16 losers, right? Junior Leo, James, Akainu, Freya, Link, and Valmaster, all heavy-hitting matches. I can't believe that some of these players are not actually going to make top 8. It is going to be a barn burner for sure. We are going to take a quick break right here, but before that, of course, I want to give another shout-out to Street Fighter Duel, the authorized mobile game from Capcom, now available for download in China with a global version coming soon. The Epic Legend is reborn on mobile. You all know what it is. Download Street Fighter Duel now. Let's fight for each other and join the millions of players to become the very best fighter.
I can guarantee you one thing about Street Fighter Duel. Link cannot do what TKR just did. That's not going to be a game. You can play on your mobile, but you can't do what TKR just did. That's a French exclusive. And what I tell you about French defense, that was a defense box.
What if they put that in the French version of Street Fighter Duel? Then at least they have to deal with it.
What they need to do with Street Fighter Duel is they need to put tracksuits.
Okay.
They need to put tracksuits in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, so I actually got this wrong last week. I got it wrong, so I'm going to try and get this right now. I thought... Here's what I thought.
I definitely believe you.
No, I thought, right? This is why you can't take my word for gospel. Trust me, don't trust me. I say it all the time. Here's the thing. I thought they were going to add another color to the winning character CBT to give you 11 tracksuit colors. No, what they're doing is, whichever character wins that weekend, you get that tracksuit for free if you haven't purchased it already. I believe that's what they're doing.
Okay.
I believe that's what they're doing. But I'm just like, I thought you just give me another color. I just...
Okay.
Drop you an email real quick, like get these color coordinations done here. But yeah, because I saw the tweet they put, I said, oh yeah, shout-outs to Samurai, XSK, and Four Fields for winning. And they just showed the tracksuit color selections.
That's right. Okay, yeah, because the tracksuit colors are part of like the new season, right? The new in addition colors.
At least that's to my understanding. If I've got it wrong again, then you might have just get rid of me with these segues of these ads. But anyway, please, if you haven't got any of these tracksuits, It's the talk of the town right now. These are some of the most used costumes.
Yeah, and the new colorways that they've added are definitely super sick. There's a lot of characters whose tracksuits I'm a big fan of. You can see the black, yellow, red, the Luke. Everybody looks dope right there. So definitely big ups to the new colors that were added. And of course, we'll see who gets released for free or some new colors added for free this week when we crown the champion for the Spain, France, and Portugal region. We are in the top 16. We got one more leg to go. We'll be right back here on Capcom Fighters to conclude day 1 and see who's in the top 8 for day 2.
そっちにもう主体を置いてる。だから動画と動画でもう仕事するって感じやね。あと大会出てるのは出てるけど、ストリートファイターはもうまあやらんって感じやね。もうギルティとドラゴンボールかな。多分今年のエボもギルティとエボだけちゃうか出るのが。ストリートファイター5は要するに一番そのゲームの大会、横ゲーっていうか格ゲーではあれやろうけど、多分ギルティとだけやと思う。これローズか。ローズじゃあオロか。
そうなんやね、ウル4でめっちゃ活躍してたのに。
まああの時からだから初期の頃はやってたけど、結局もう結婚したっていうのも大きいと思うよ。結婚してそのまだ結婚したっていうのと、あとあれやと思う、コロナ、コロナとあれやろね。最近でもみんなこっちやね。ミノムシ。
スト6の情報出ましたか？
スト6はない。スト6は多分夏ぐらいって言ってるから、多分エボやと思うよ。新規発表は。俺は多分予想的にはスト6。エボでしょうね。アンディ来た。天狗ストーン、天狗石な。おろな。ストロークの情報は多分当分ないと思う。でもあったとしても、まあ来年あったとしても、もう今年には発表ないと思うよ。モンハンな。このゲームを日本でやってる人って何人おんの？
このストリートファイターデュエルをやってる人全く聞いたことないんだけどね。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's CPT. We are here progressing through the top 16 for France, Spain, and Portugal. We're trying to determine who will be our final 8 combatants. And then tomorrow, we're going to see who qualifies for the Cup. We've had some interesting plays. We've seen the French defense. We've seen the exclusive gameplay only found in Europe.
Indeed.
Listen, your people don't be doing that.
I've never seen that in my life.
I'm telling you. If you want to see that, you got to see archives. I'm sure the match will be uploaded to YouTube maybe in a couple of days' time, and then you guys are going to go like, TKR, I'm your biggest fan. And he's going to be like, well, I'm going to do it to you too.
Yeah, he definitely gained a few fans with that decision for sure.
That's crazy. But yes, we're going to be going through the last 3 matches of today's top 16, rounding out today. Now, TKR is the first combatant going into the top 8 losers side.
だいぶあれはでもあっちやと
Which
思
will
う。
be either Junior Leo or James 2088. Luke versus Alex. We got to say, Junior Leo lost to Crimson earlier today. Pretty convincingly, arguably the best player in France. But James 88, we mentioned it before. Yeah. Marvelous losers run. He's on them.
Absolutely. Starting from the very first round of losers, right? Lost his first match of the day, has made it to a top 8 qualifying match up against Junior Leo, one of the premier players out there in Europe. And I mean, James, though, he's won over my heart. This is the guy that I'm rooting for the most to make top 8 here, showing out on the Alex, really bringing it to the forefront. We know the character's on the rise, right? Very explosive, very entertaining character. Junior Leo, on the other hand, I think is going to try to tame that explosiveness up a little bit, whether it be with the Luke or the Ken. I think the Ken can kind of get bullied by the Alex, to be honest with you, so I'm looking for the Luke in this matchup.
I think he'll go with, you know, because Ken's pretty strong as well, but obviously we've spoken about this before and we'll recite the same lines for the next, 8 to 9 months. Is Luke is arguably the best character in the game. He's got everything at his disposal there. He's got the vitality. The stun's been toned down as well. He's got the projectile. Can be a little bit of a problem for Alex, but if he wants to try out Ken and throw him off, he can do. But again, I think there's a story to be told. There's a narrative we're setting for you guys right now. Is can James make top 8 via coming through from losers? But again,
all the way.
This is probably his biggest hurdle because it is a Luke player in Junior Leo. Now he does play Ken. He used to play Seth, but he's put Seth down, and I think he's been having a lot of fun with Luke with the charged flash knuckles and whatnot. So this is crazy. And somebody in my ear has given me information that they didn't disclose before. But I must tell you, it's in the picture. Oh, I thought that was a...
I didn't know what it was. I thought he left his water bottle in the picture or something.
I thought that was a Magnum. the Magnum ice cream? Apparently...
We don't have that here.
Apparently... Oh, you don't have that here?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm going home. Anyway... apparently, James's hand is actually broken, so he's playing with a broken hand. I was like, damn, you really love Street Fighter that much?
What's his peripheral? I want to know what he plays on now.
And you know what? I'll tell you what, that just proves to you, you can play Alex with one hand. And you're not helping your case. You're not helping your case, right? Apparently, I've been told that's what the voice of reason in our ears has told me. He said apparently James's hand is broken, and he said it's in the picture. I'm like, that looked like an ice cream bar to me, but I didn't ask.
Okay. Oh, these joints. Okay. We have those here. We have those here. Okay,
cool.
we have those here.
Anyway, listen, we're rambling. We're rambling on, but yeah, it looks like we're gonna get Luke versus Alex sorted. Again, still first to 2 territory. I spoke to Problem X a little bit about this matchup before, but that was like early when we were talking about the patch that just came out. I think he'd still prefer Bison over this one, and for Problem X's case, James has only got Alex here. He tried to do flash chops before against his previous opponent, Jay Killer. These are a different breed of projectiles. There's an EX version of, obviously there's an EX version of Metallic Sapphire, and there's the V-Trigger 1 version. I wouldn't risk it.
Okay.
He might change he might feel comfortable with V-Skill 1 and V-Trigger 1. I think it all really lies on his just his V system. I wouldn't be surprised though if Leo picks Suppressor, the V skill 2. I wouldn't be
てか、モンハンって
surprised.
だってスイッチのモンハンって売れてんのやってる人おんのあんまりなんかこうスイッチのモンハンやってる人って聞かんから
His V skill 1 has just been so reliably strong that a lot of the time you can more control the game.
Okay. It looks like, it looks like he's picked V-Trigger 2, James, so he's gone for a switch.
Okay, that's what we wanted to see, honestly, in the first match.
And here's the thing, I think one of the things we spoke about this before, the zoners kind of give him a hard time, Dawson being probably arguably his worst matchup, good boot, the dot
これ
bar
アレ
hits
ッ
him in
ク
the
ス勝
face.
つんか
But there's a thing where if you have as many commandos as possible, even
あ
if they're
ある
comboed
わ
into,
ほぐれてきたぜ
you're forcing Luke to do something. What a round start here.
I can't believe that.
まあ売れてるからね売れてるってことはみんな買うってやつやろうけど
Oh, yeah.
Just grab him again. There's no reason not to do it. Even if he jumped forward, there's no reason how that round is
買
going.
う人が多いってことは売る時のじゃあもう
I love that too. He made sure he put the jab on him too, just to make sure that if you're holding up at the wake up, you can't do that. You gotta really.
でも俺あんまりよく分かってないんだけどモンハン最高傑作って何なの
He's gonna wrist slash elbow.
Yeah, you see it again real quick.
What would I do if I was
最
Junior
高
Leo?
傑
I
作
wouldn't charge up
や
these.
っぱあれかなやっぱ PSP 時代のやつが最高傑作なの
I'd
か
walk
な
forward and probably with crouch jab.
Oh,
Oh, that was
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stance coming. He wanted the stun.
球打っちゃった
Reversal stun now, one hit away. Oh, yeah, that should be the
みんなやってた
round
もん
because
な。
the one hit stun. Charge up that flash knuckle. Yes, sir. I want to correct myself earlier as well. I said flash
その中
knuckle
俺
is
はやっ
negative
て
2
ません
plus
でした
frames. I forgot. The
Yes,
モンハンは
the
伝
fully
説
charged
時代の
version
モン
is
ハンのイメージが
plus
強すぎて
obviously the
めっ
V
ちゃ
skill
難
one
し
is
かったから
plus
もうええわ
4, I
って
think,
やら
the
なか
heavy
った
one.
し
something like that, yeah.
Because obviously frame data changes depending on if you stored or not, and then obviously negative to positive. And he tried to wake up with slash elbow, no dice, but good back medium punch into the light. Level 2 flash knuckle. Wow, this pressure. Stun? Yeah. He's got him. He's not dead though.
No, definitely not. James does another
やっ
chance.
ぱ
He
キャラパワー
definitely
が
can rob this round.
Oh, that was a frame kill, by the way.
That was a really neat frame kill, honestly. It was one of those, especially because that V skill, it kind of has those dead frames where it looks like he's still animating, but you can recover.
Yeah.
So that's like a really good frame kill because at that moment, just visually, you think you can press something when he's actually recovered already.
I like that he stored it well just in case for the extra plus frames, which he did. He went for heavy flash knuckle again. Now that leaves you at plus 2 frame advantage, but you're not in throw range. When you do the -2 one, you are, but it's not your turn.
Okay.
When you do the +2 one, you got the frame advantage, but you're not there.
Gotcha.
And he went for a crouch shot afterwards. So pretty interesting stuff there from Junior Leo. After the explosive start James had, he
まあ
still
取りだ
has
けじゃな
something
くて
to
中
offer.
足よやっ
Yeah,
ぱり
real good adjustments, I think, from Leo, controlling the neutral much heavier. I want to see James. What's she gonna do to kind of
足が
crack
もう
this
とに
defense?
かくリターンがでかす
Talking
ぎる
about that wall of offense.
Good check there. Slash elbow gets the counter hit confirmed. He didn't have any meter to get the EX flash drop from the light kick, so gonna get a grab, stand hard kick maybe? No.
Already in the corner now. He's not even going for the the stand light kick for the +1 after the throw.
Don't even need to with that. And anti-air with the lariat misses his follow-up because Luke was too high. And now he's trapped in the corner. He's gonna have to fight his way out or do that.
Yeah, just jumped out successfully here. Just the knockdown. We got a V-trigger activate.
Press the button and you've lost.
That's why he stays disciplined.
差がある
Now try to get caught flinching, protecting the legs as well. Forcing his way in with an EX, but pushed right back out.
I wouldn't be surprised if James felt desperate and wanted to do a DDT. He's not dead, don't worry. He's going to charge up hard shot, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, one more again.
Yeah, he didn't have the health and he didn't have the mental patience to walk the whole way. You're not going to do it. And his anti-projectile to his armor.
For sure. It was a rough situation, and it just amplified by knowing that fact, and that means your mental is just going to keep deteriorating.
All right, there we go. Going to get the follow-up here with the crouching fist. Couldn't do anything. Rising upper to take it there. Oh, that must have been the +1 version. Back medium punch. God damn, that's looking rough. Oh, that's it. Oh,
my God.
Man, that's going to be it. The Rising Rocket going to close it out there. Clinical performance, straightforward and textbook as it can be for Junior Leo and his Luke. Commiserations to James 2088.
Yeah.
Close, but no cigar. What a run.
Indeed, definitely. Like we mentioned before, from losers round 1, James got all the way here for a top 8 qualifying match. Fell short up against Junior Leo, and I mean, Junior Leo really showed why he's one of the premier players of the region, it felt like. James, I think his strategy was a lot of gambits, a lot of situations where he was going to bet on certain options, and if they bet correctly, then Alex can kind of snowball and take the whole round, right? That's what I kind of got from his game plan, while Junior Leo was very much like the high-level fighting game player style, right? Where he's like, I'm going to pick Luke. I'm going to make sure I pick a character that can control the neutral, that doesn't put me in these risky, reckless situations that I can lose the round off of, and really just played a prime game.
All right, so Junior Leo, he finds himself returning to the top 8 after so long. I have to double check the results. I think he made the top 8 last year, but again, good stuff there from Luke from start to finish, and we'll be seeing him tomorrow in the top 8. Yeah, he came 5th place and 9th place last year, so consistency is showing once again with another strong French player. So now, we're going to be moving on to the next match in the loser side, which should be... It was Freya going up against... Yes, that's it. Oh, it's Battle of the Sonic Booms. Perfect. Battle of the Sonic Booms, indeed. So, Guile got, again, toned down a little bit and certain things changed. I know Akainu goes through these phases where, at least from my perspective, he'll think Guile is weak, and it's like he's not going to be weak in this game. He's going to be weaker than he was before, because again, like there was a season 3, maybe season 4, he was riding high, he was in prime time. But again, he's still a solid character. You know, Daigo continues to show that. Akainu himself continues to show that. But like I said, he's been bouncing around the houses with other characters, but you're most likely going to be seeing Guile here against Freya.
I don't know if I've ever told you, Jammers.
Talk to me.
But Guile is the character I hate fighting the most across all fighting games.
That's why you're here next to me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, the Street Fighter V, you got a good addition of Guile. I got no chance here. So that's what Akainu continues to bring to the table, right? Like, he's always been so consistent with that character. While Freya, on the other hand, we've seen the rise of Nash again. It's good to see it. After Nash had such the spotlight in Season 1, had a great run in that era of the game, just disappeared, just off the map for about 4 seasons, finally back here. And in a cool way, I think we talked about the V-Trigger 2 being able to just oppress opponents, really mix them up heavily. He's got some cool quality of life changes as well. The target combo or the follow-up off the stand light kick, the fact that he has a 3-frame button in the first place. He's just such a better character all around now, and in a way that I think makes seeing him in the high-level meta very interesting.
Obviously, they're trying to make characters as unique and showcase their individuality as much as possible. But again, this is just a Jammer's perspective, just a weird hot take. I can't help but, yeah.
Oh. What?
I told you he's bouncing around the houses.
So,
you didn't. Did you mention this house?
I never mentioned his dad. No.
The bounce house?
We didn't go to the straw house. we didn't go to the straw house.
さあ、ガイルじゃなくて、さあ、赤犬はガイル使いの人ですけど、ここでダンで。
He's gone with the Dan pick just to give us a more entertainment factor. Against Nash, not a good idea.
Yeah, it definitely leaves me a little perplexed just in the matchup, but if he can catch Freya off guard, just kind of run the offensive Dan game, what a bet on the EX Dan kicks right there.
I guess he loves the taunt cancels.
Yeah, oh yes, the sweep gets the knockdown, back tech, that was plus frames, but we challenge it.
Damn, he mashed, and then the side swap, that's going to be a big punish here. That's not going to kill, because Dan's damage output is laughable, I'll tell you that much. Shimmy!
But Akainu sending a message right now with that first round. Complete domination.
Well, I'm hoping we don't get another Masky to Beast situation where it's you're a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
It's working right now, though.
Ooh. Yeah, and Akainu backing up to that spot. I was just going to say the EX Dan kicks. That's what he was looking for last time.
This is what Freya does, and I see a lot of Nash players do this. They all just whiff crouch jab, they whiff stand jab, because any move that travels fast as EX or just like covers a lot of ground, they want to stop you from doing that. Crush counters can stop it, but again, at that range, it probably wouldn't catch it in time.
Yeah, low risk as well if you're just pressing the lights, just in case he actually doesn't end up doing it. Akainu, though, sitting on that V-trigger, trying to find that spot to activate. No anti-air there.
Crush counter.
Ooh, how?
Dunretsuken there. Can we get an activation of some sorts? He wants that trigger 2 activation, but so does Freya.
完全見えない。お、今回は V 取りつか。あ、これ終わった
Yeah,
な。
I love that right there. He actually tried to shimmy once he landed, right? You saw the walk in, walk out, but Freya had good defense, not biting.
Plus frames, that's plus 2 on block. You've got to respect that. The muscle memory with Dan is probably not quite there in terms of defensive situations, but that is a plus situation, that Justice Corridor.
Oh, this time cutting off the second fireball.
All right. Kyaku straight to the corner. No uppercut there from Akainu again, but throws him back into the corner.
Ooh, gets under that, or over that, I should say, low crushes.
Is he going to do a wake-up scythe, or is he going to leave it? Oh, he tried! I think he tried!
He definitely did.
Oh, man, that's going to be the game! Do you know what? What I'm going to do is because we already saw an EX move.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on CFN late and see his input. So I need to confirm with myself that I called it right.
So what would the EX scythe have beaten there?
I believe it's throw invincible.
Oh.
So I think he was going to
betting on the throw.
Yeah, and then he had trigger 2.
Gotcha.
So if he tried to shimmy him, you would have done EX Scythe, activated to trigger 2. That's one of the more flexible routes for him into stealth dash v trigger 2. That's what I'm thinking. I'd have to double check.
Yeah.
I think somebody's gone back to the character select screen.
It sounds like it. But like for a character like that, or in a situation like Freya was in, I like a big defensive bet like that. You know what I mean? You know, like the fact that like just blocking it out or getting a jab or something like that, it's not going to turn the round around enough to really make it so you're going to get the W. Like I like the big bet, the EX, because you said the V-Trigger 2 cancel can go into it from there, and we see how much the V-Trigger 2 can just kind of wipe away the opponent's game plan. So I do like that, but better stuff from Akainu on the Dan, man, just looking super smooth.
Yeah, so this is a character he plays. I have seen him like dabble. I wasn't expecting him to bring it out in a CPT, so sorry for not providing all the information. Okay, he's gone with VCL1 and Trigger 1.
Wow.
I think he wants to rely less on I need to come back, maybe more V reversals, V shifts, because I did say this before, the V system beats him, but because that 3-bar V trigger Nash, you don't want to let that go.
Yeah, true. We're talking about how potent it is as well, right? So switch up, and this is a great start for Freya.
V shift. I think that's the OS sweep.
Yeah.
I think that's what Nash's go-to option selectors against V shifts, at least when they whiff.
All right. Post it up once again at Akainu.
It's looking a lot better here for Freya. Slowing it down just a little bit. Again, I don't know as well probably what the teleport will be used for. Maybe for combo applications. I'm not sure if there's anything in neutral catch.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe as an escape from the corner, because he has been getting oppressed a little bit.
Yeah.
By Dan. Oh my goodness, we see Akainu so disciplined with his defense, not biting on any of that, backdashing afterwards.
Yeah, that looked like a gimmick to me, but it didn't work out. And he's just throwing out all the moonsaults, none of them being checked. It can be difficult for a couple of players to do that, but...
Nice challenge from Freya right there. It's a little bit difficult to tell if that was plus or not, but my goodness, got him flinching right there with the crouch.
Okay. Sometimes just that change of V system, even if you're not going to use them liberally as you did before, your previous set, that could be a big deal.
Yeah, it just changes your mindset, right? Changes your perspective. You don't have to worry about trying to utilize that V-Trigger 2 as much as you might have beforehand.
Oh, did he get a stand hard kick anti-air? Is that the wrong range for that to work? So he's going to take an EX down Retz again, straight to the corner of a Dankukyaku, and here comes the talk cancels. He is panicking.
My man was like, I'm not having any of that. Going with the EX bust out.
We trade on the Sonic Boom.
Now Freya has that V-Trigger again. Ooh, trade. Nice.
He's trying to make sure he's not grounded to deal with this pressure, but the problem is you put yourself in an even more perilous situation than you did before. Throw will close it out. He tried to frame trap him.
Good stuff. Pretty much smelled that Freya was willing to just sit there, down back. Finally came up with a throw and put himself on set point.
Nah, he got him. He literally stamped a flag in his brain. He said, this is my territory. He got him.
Rent free. Already in the corner with that crush counter as well. That was so good. I kind of recognized it. He tried that shimmy the first time Freya walked or jumped out, and ever since they've just been throwing it.
Oh, here we go. I don't think he's going to do a V-shift. He's going to try and tech and probably break out. Oh, he's trying to run away, Ridge.
No. Not just trying to be reversal. Ooh, chase down again. He still had to deal with this pressure. Good throw tech. Tried the sweep. It was just out of range. No confirm.
Right. If he can just surprise with an EX Dan kicks from that range, that might do it. Doesn't need to.
You saw Freya was trying some type of anti-air at the end afterwards from that fireball, but did not recover in time to stuff it. Akainu taking it 2-0 on the Dan.
Whew, what a surprise pick there. Something even I wasn't expecting from the European player here himself. And again, he advances into the top 8, like you said, with that surprise Dan pick. If anyone is going to be perplexed and really surprised, it's going to be Freya.
Yeah.
He probably had like an inkling it might be a possibility, but at the same time, it's like, nah. Probably gonna be Guile, maybe Rashid.
It's CPT. There's one chance for each region, like, and 2 out of 3.
Listen, I said this last week. I'm bringing dirt to a boxing match.
Yeah.
If I only had one chance to qualify for something, I'm bringing dirt to a boxing match. I don't care.
The loaded gloves.
That is going to be that for our penultimate match there. Akainu is going to be waiting in the top 8 loser side for his opponent, which will be our final match of the day. Before we recap everything on the other side, it's going to be Link Exela going up against Valmaster. Could be Luke versus Chun. Like Valmaster ain't changing characters. That pick is cemented there. I mean, hypothetically, who would you prefer to see? against Valmaster's Chun?
Against Valmaster's Chun, we saw the male-dominant Urian earlier, so neither of the characters actually presented. Necalli or Luke. I mean, I'd like to see the Necalli just to see how prepared Valmaster is for this version of Necalli, right? That's another character that's kind of fallen by the wayside a lot. Has gotten some buffs, has gotten some love in the most recent patch, so we see him back on the rise. We see plenty of people messing with him. I saw Yipes streaming a new Necalli account. I know Punk used...
Shout out to Yipes.
Yeah, Punk used Necalli, I think, at Texas Showdown for one match, but he used like 7 characters at that tournament. So, yeah, definitely on the rise again. I'd like to see it just to see how prepared Valmaster is. But I think Valmaster is one of those guys that, as you mentioned, has been on the grind recently, has really been trying to get back to prime form. And on the Chun-Li, I think Necalli will have a hard time. So, just because of the unfamiliarity, I'd like Necalli, but I think the overall more stable pick in the matchup is, of course, Luke.
Well, we'll see. And also as well, Link Excello, he might have had a couple of ranked matches, maybe a training session in between, because the person who's actually first on stream in the CPT's top 16 is actually the last person to play if they lose.
Yes,
so
exactly.
their hands are going to be extremely cold. And, you know, you could be anxious at that point because it's like, okay, I technically have 2 chances to qualify for top 8.
Yeah.
The first opportunity, he squandered.
Yeah.
And then you got the last opportunity. It's like, well, I've got no choice now. And some players, they do play better when their back's against the wall,
for sure,
or they only got 1 chance left. Now, I've seen both of these guys have these losers runs in Salt Mine Leagues or just in other tournaments in general, and they can pretty much go the distance. But I think, if anything, the indication that Link Excello, some of the choices he made on defense against kills you, especially in the first 2 high-pressure situations, it would tell you anything. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake twice, switch it up. I know it's going to be a different character. I haven't actually heard his personal thoughts on Chun-Li, this version of the game, but like I said, a lot of the French guys here, they're in Discord calls and they talk to each other about their own games. Heck, they probably went in the Discord call today.
Honestly, I hope that he has been, because I think a lot of the time is so we are going to see that in the Necalli. I think what you brought up is a great point, and having that first match of the day and losing, so you get the last match of the day, it's a very tough draw, and the anxiety, the mental pressure can definitely get up there. So I hope he has been in a Discord call with some people, just try to keep his mind fresh and not so bogged down.
Words of encouragement, you know the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, nice crush kind of sweep. I know it's a bit haphazard as the approach came about, but listen, we'll take it. He's got one of the fastest sweeps in the game anyway.
True.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something else as well. Link Excello has a very similar roster to Phenom. Valmaster plays a lot of Phenom.
Okay.
So he's going to be comfortable in this matchup.
All right, well, if that's the case, yeah, the colleague going to be looking maybe a little bit long for this world.
All right, V skill 1, trying to activate there. I don't think he's going to be able to get back throw, but good V break, keep him there. Trust me, V reversal and V shift against his V trigger self, Necalli. That is pretty potent against him as well.
Valmaster been so on point with those back heavy kick anti-airs as well. Ooh, with that crouch. Fear's actually getting interrupted.
Yeah, he preemptively pressed the button. It worked out, so I like it.
Oh, caught him flinch at the last moment. Just saw Chun-Li flying through the air, and he didn't know what to do.
Watch out for the stomp. Always watch out for the stomp.
Yeah, Valmaster, I think, got caught. Just thinking about whether it be the high or the low, ends up getting thrown.
All right, we've got CA though. And I know that, like, you know, the medium punches, Necalli pretty much gets okay for anything he does now. Some of the new changes he got. And he can do his Raging Light Uppercut into CA as well. He's got more roots into CA, but again, a lot of these matchups, the neutral factor was still, you know, the biggest concern, the biggest crux in his gameplay.
And you're trying to stomp it out here. There's really prime spacing from the Necalli. You can see he actually cashed out all that great damage with the ground pound as well. That's big.
All right, going to do Valiant Rebellion, trying to get those plus frames, but good frame advantage, or sorry, good V reversal there from Valmaster. He's still got CA, so he wants to be fierce into CA now, or counter hit confirm or something, and now's a good time.
Yeah, he's staying pretty disciplined about what he's looking for, though. Just the crouch medium kick, no big buttons like the stand fierce or the stand heavy kick. You know, the stand fierce in the CA is the Chun-Li classic, and my man Valmaster has been doing that for a decade plus at this point for Street Fighter V and beyond. Gonna put Necalli on live support.
No, he went for a safe meaty with the light Koken, no empty jump there. You used to see TKR do that a lot, but one poke will do it. Maybe a light. But be careful, they're heavy though, as Ringe mentioned before. That's what he's looking for. That's what he wants.
Oh, and right there you see the heels, the smoke, the dust just coming off on the heels of Chun-Li, and she moves right past that. The stand fierce, always a potent button to close it out.
See, here's the thing as well, right? It's because people they were so fixated on Chun-Li's stand hard punch. It did get toned down. Hurtbox been adjusted, but again, if you don't make it whiff, there was no real problem, right? And then now, remember, like Chun-Li's coming in that range, the fierce connects, and you got to deal with the newly buffed practicing hard punch, and everyone's like, hang on, you know, there's stand hard kick's been there for 5 years, you know? And it's like, ooh, what button do we deal with now? So it's very hard to kind of slowly adjust your space and really work around certain things, especially with a character like Nakali. He's got good damage output, he's got good counter pokes, but overall, having to deal with that and trying to initiate your game, super difficult.
So this was something I was thinking about when I was watching Topanga yesterday.
Talk to me.
Over one for Valmaster is that, you know, with how good everybody is gotten at Street Fighter V and how potent people are at high level, with extremely good footsie-based characters like a Chun-Li or a Karin or whoever it might be, I think Luke is very good because he has those normals that advance him forward, right?
Yes.
And you get in a range in Street Fighter V a lot where you feel very uncomfortable pressing anything because, like, you pressing something, you're just outside of your optimal range while your opponent's in their optimal range. Wow.
Yes.
So a lot of the time, I think you need something forward advancing so you can move into that optimal range with an active hitbox, right?
I respect that.
So that's kind of where my thought process was. But Ibuki of all characters, I didn't know this was coming.
No, good breakdown there, Ringe. Yeah, this is another one of his characters. We didn't mention it today because he hasn't actually been using Ibuki as of recent.
Okay, yeah.
All his characters got buffed, but like, he's been having, I think, more fun with Nakali and Luke. But I feel because of the situation he's in right now, Ibuki might be called upon. Now it's just shift. It's a night shift, but now he's called upon.
For sure, and she's one of those characters that is going to present some issues for Chun-Li, keeping her out, right? She's got some ways to alter her trajectory in the air. Ooh, the kunai just getting right past the fireball, and we can see Link really utilizing all these things that Nakali didn't have to get in on Valmaster.
Yeah, you know, Fuma Shuriken back to being plus on block. When you activate, he's got the hit, going to confirm and end it with the Shuriken. And the target combo there. Got a new move with the EX special step that goes in the air. Makabishi V-Skill 2 got changed. She's got some cool changes, man, honestly. But she's just not talking to town.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of shiny toys that people are kind of enamored with at the moment. And Luigi, not one of them.
You know? Send it back to the shop. Keep it in the plastic.
Yeah, but now breaking it down right now, it's looking like it's paying off, to be quite honest. Link is looking very comfortable.
There goes with V-Skill 1, really trying to catch Valmaster's buttons in check, trying to catch him with the spacing traps there. Not really working out. Good air to air with the jump fierce.
That V-Skill is also pretty, I think, decent in this matchup just because it's such a long-range option of the Chun-Li.
He's got to be careful, though, because even miss spaces that's going to be EX lanes.
Yeah,
well, that could be a stand hard kick from Valmaster himself, so...
Ooh, risking the slide in. Of course, V-Trigger on deck as well. Wants to find an activation point. He's going to take the damage.
All right, let's wait for this round to pan out. Gets the V-break there. He gets a little bit more frame advantage because it was connected on an airborne opponent, but he's looking like Valmaster's rounds.
That was so good. That stand heavy kick was round winning because I have to imagine Link was looking for that EX kunai, starting to force his way in, and have the V-Trigger on deck. Like, perfectly timed stand heavy kick from Valmaster.
All right, yeah, he's not sure what button to try and counter poke. Obviously, he's trying to consider, oh, execution error is going to be big damage.
Oh, no.
Ibuki's got low vitality, so this is big. 2 throws and you're in trouble. Oh, there's one. And Valmaster's corner game with Chun-Li is some of the most scariest I've seen in the community.
That's why I'm a little surprised. Oh, he backed off, but what a call out on that air kunai.
Watch out for the shimmy. He wants to confirm anything into CA, and that will close it out. Link Xella's on his last legs. Right, he's got 2 resets. Oh, that was ridiculous. Right, here comes the second one. Oh no, he's going to go for a knockdown.
Oh, catches the pressure buttons on the verge of stun. Now takes the throw and gets it. You're seeing stars, now you're seeing L's. We got one more reset to go. Just takes the damage. Ooh, doesn't get caught flinching this time. Lost the kunai in the right direction. Valmaster going to get in the top 8 off that. Beautiful blocks. The experience coming through once again.
The discipline. And that mental fortitude, knowing your opponent is slowly coming back. And the thing is, I thought he was going to do something when it was right at the death there for the stun, but he didn't. And even then, what's crazy about that, if he had one more game to kind of analyze that, it's like Valmaster sat there. What was he doing the whole time? Yeah. Anytime Link Xello took to the skies and you resorted to the kunai option, he air-to-aired him. Bit finicky with the scenario, but he done it. And then right at the death, he just said, you know what? I'm firming it. If we got to play another game, so be it. But you know what? Almost got it with the Ibuki pick to kind of equalize. And even then, that was the character you wanted to bow out with. It's so unfortunate for Link Xello because he's been making these top 8s in the CPT, but the characters just weren't quite there. The bracket luck, the characters just weren't quite making the cut, you know. So commiserations there to Link Xello. It's good that we got to see, you know, the Nakali and the Ibuki.
For sure.
But yeah, how did you feel about it?
Man, I'm very impressed with just the fact that Valmaster blocked that at the end, right? You've heard like James Shen, a lot of us have been like, that is unblockable. Like the classic Ibuki dive into the kunai, not actually crossing you up, hitting you in front. And the fact that Valmaster was ready for that, right? Considering Ibuki is an underrepresented character nowadays, I don't know how much he like plays against Ibuki on the regular. He might have a training partner that he still plays Ibuki a lot that I'm unaware of, but he looks so ready at the end. And not even, I guess, so ready for the matchup, but over the course of that one match, he just looked like he was absorbing the information, remembering how to play the matchup, and just was excellent from start to finish.
Yeah. Good stuff, fantastic clinical stuff there from Valmaster. Well played. He finds himself in the top 8. Last time he entered, he came 9th place. Before that, he didn't enter at all because he was still on his break. But he's letting people know he's hit the ground running and he's still a force to be reckoned with in the European region, not just in his respective CPT. So well played to Valmaster. He'll be going up against Akainu tomorrow. So that was our final match of the day. We've concluded the top 16. I mean, overall, did you like the French exclusivity?
Oh, yeah.
Featuring a sprinkle of some Spanish players there? Did you enjoy that?
Definitely. It was my right type of spice, 100%, when it comes to the fighting games.
I've got to say as well, I like the damn picks.
Yeah,
I like the damn picks.
The damn picks, the Alex. I thought it was entertaining from start to finish.
Obviously, we'll talk about more of this when we come back on the other side of this break as well. But yes, no more matches today. So if you are just tuning in, I like to be the bearer of bad news. No more matches today. You're gonna have to catch the archives on twitch.tv/CatConFighters or CatConFighters. Just type on YouTube, and it'll be the first thing that shows up on the YouTube page. There's actually something right up there that you can go. That's Catcom Europe, but just find that funny symbol on YouTube, and you'll find the archives there. But yes, we have got to do one final plug-in for my peoples. So they make sure they bring me back.
いい試合だった。明日も楽しみだな。
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard Rim speak about it. He's laughing right now. I'm going to let him laugh while I do this thing. We've been speaking about it all day, but yes, we play games on our mobiles, and you should be playing games on your mobiles too. But yes, there will be a Street Fighter dual game coming soon for a global release. It is available in China right now, and they've actually